Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the 3C2A Football Championship game on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Today from Bakersfield, the Riverside City College Tigers take on the College of San Mateo Bulldogs, as both teams seek to not only complete undefeated seasons, but also secure what would be each school's first ever 3C2A Football Championship. I am Jeff Stoynoff, very pleased to be joined by former Mendocino College head coach and current athletic director at Antelope Valley College, Tom Gang, and by my good friend and the producer of today's broadcast, Mike Cepeda. And guys, if it sounds like I'm introducing a heavyweight fight, it's because I am. Talk about undefeated records. Somebody's has to go. Two teams that have ripped through their competition and meet now on a collision course in the championship game. And Tom, let's start with you. Riverside City College, gaudy numbers all over the place, but the one that really leaps off the page is over 50 points per game on the board. College of San Mateo, the top defense in the 3C2A. But that notwithstanding, Tom, how do they go about slowing down such a prolific offense?
Well, I think how they go about slowing down the prolific offense is continue to do what they've done all year long. One of the things about San Mateo's defense is they're very methodical in what they do, and they're going to sock you in the face. Through the playoffs, they played one of the best offensive teams in the North in Modesto Junior College. Coach Stivers up there does a tremendous job offensively, and he blanked him 41-0. And then previous to that, San Mateo went up against Fresno City, which is one of the top teams in the North, and blanked them as well, 21-0. So I think if San Mateo continues to do what they've done all year and not try to get too fancy, they'll be fine. Tom Kraft obviously is one of the best coaches, in my opinion, in community college football. And one of the assistant head coaches, Brett Pollock, told me today they just need to stop Tom Kraft, because we all know Tom Kraft's the one that manufactures all those yards for Riverside. So I think they're real excited about the opportunity to show what they can do in the North.
Many teams have tried this season, but so far everybody has failed. Michael, we turn to you, and the coaching matchup here has some intrigue to it as well, some familiarity between Coach Tulloch at College of San Mateo and Coach Kraft at Riverside City College.
Well, that's because Coach Tulloch played for Coach Kraft at Palomar years ago, and a matchup of master versus apprentice in this one, and it's the apprentice looking to dispatch his former coach en route to the school's first state title.
Top two teams all season long in the 3C2A, indeed in the country, and now they will settle it on the field. We'll step aside, rejoin you in front of kickoff. It's coming up. It's the 3C2A Football Championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. for us. We'll see the forecast for showers this morning, but it stayed pretty dry. It's overcast. But other than that, pretty perfect football weather, crisp. A little bit cool out there, but that's good for football.
That's a tremendous day. I mean, it's starting to sprinkle a little bit, and you see it's trying to rain, but I don't see anything coming anytime soon. So when you can get some pure football, team against team on a good surface without the weather, and you really get a true championship from there.
Well, you can't ask for much more truth in a matchup. As we talked about, number 1 and number 2, they traded all season long, back and forth. It was San Mateo earlier in the season, but Riverside overtaking, but never left the top 2, did these two teams all season long. And perhaps now moments away from the matchup that should have been considered inexorable, really, all season long between these two teams.
I think it's a great opportunity for San Mateo to come in and demonstrate that culture that they've created there. With their long line of coaching history, they pretty much just switch back and forth. You have Tim there as the head coach now, but he's been there since 1997. You got Brett Pollock, who's been there since 1994, and you got Larry Owens. I don't even want to tell you how long Larry Owens has been there for. But they've created a culture, and you can see it in their program. When you have coaches that have been in the program for so long and they're able to create that, it amounts to this. Year in and year out, they're consistently doing well, and they're a great program.
Riverside City College wins the toss. They will defer. So College of San Mateo will have it first.
I think the big question today is how it's going to be on special teams and some of those turnovers. When you see a powerful defensive way this is and an offensive way that they run on offense, Riverside, the mistakes that happen on special teams are the ones that are going to decide this game.
Yes, 7 defensive touchdowns for College of San Mateo. They also have 3 kick returns, 2 kick returns and a punt return for a touchdown, so 3 special teams touchdowns. And obviously, big play is going to be so critical when you talk about a matchup here where one play could easily make the difference.
Absolutely.
So back deep, it will be Jermaine Jackson along with Terrell Carter back to receive the kick from Riverside. We are moments away.
Definitely exciting time for both of these squads. You can tell by the energy on both teams. I always like to see teams up close and in person, and you can tell both these teams are ready to play.
Zach Servillis will tee it up for Riverside City College. Talked about the 2 shutouts for College of San Mateo, back-to-back shutouts, 62-0. They've outscored their 2 opponents, and Riverside City College pretty much able to match that. They've outscored their 2 opponents in the South, College of the Canyons and Mount Sac, 116-21. It's Jackson a yard deep, out to the 10, 15, at the 20 and tripped up at the 23-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs will go to work with the opening possession. It'll be Luke Batari, the freshman quarterback for San Mateo. Batari, 5'11", 185 pounds, out of Sarah, right in San Mateo. So he stayed close to home. He'll work from the shotgun. They keep it on the ground on 1st and 10 with Page sweeping to the near side, and he is met and dropped after a gain of a couple.
Great stop. Talking to Coach Pollock, the assistant head coach this morning, he said they're going to definitely try to get, run the ball a little bit more, try to force the defense up front. So he obviously went to it there.
Navarro Silva with the stop. 3 yards on the gain and a 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Bulldogs. Page, the leading rusher on the season, in the backfield. And he gets the call on the counter.
Oh.
And a short gain, perhaps a yard, maybe 2. And you see the stout defense for Riverside City College that has allowed just 2 rushing touchdowns all season long.
Yeah, they're definitely an impressive-looking group up front. When you're playing against a team like this, you got to try to test them at first, and you got to see where you can push them. And so far, they haven't had any success pushing them anywhere.
First tackle on the day for unanimous all-conference choice Kobe Fitzgerald, who leads this defense for the Tigers from his linebacker spot. 3rd down and 5. Snap to Batari. Good protection. Steps up, looking deep. looking for Connell Ryans, who had some space. Estes on the coverage, and the pass incomplete.
Connell Ryans had a step on the kid, but the biggest thing was the protection the quarterback had there. I think Luke had some time to throw, and he had time to step up into the pocket, so that may be something the coaches are thinking about right now.
Yeah, it looked like a three-man rush, but sure. Ryans was still able to get behind Estes and get a half a step.
Riverside's real diverse in what they do. You know, they'll go from a three-man front to a four-man front. They'll change coverages back and forth, so they're very versatile.
So the 3 and out will bring on the punting unit. Sean Dorso waiting deep for the kick from Sullivan. Connor Sullivan gets the kick away. And it takes a Riverside bounce and will come to rest at the 34-yard line. That's a kick of 38 yards. No return. And the Tigers will have their first offensive possession with solid field position at their own 34. Well, the headlines are really going to be garnered by the San Mateo defense, the only school in the state to allow less than 10 points a game. Just staggering offensive numbers, but the Tigers figure to be no easy challenge defensively themselves. They overload the far side. Barlage keeps it on the ground on 1st and 10 as Thomas Kinslow gets the carry up to the 38 for a gain of 4.
One of the things about Coach Kraft is when you watch him, he's very methodical in what he does. He puts his offense out there, and then he looks at what's going on, and he'll make a change or a check, and he'll go with it based on what he has in the box or what he has on defense. He has the ability to check at all times.
Tua Tavaki with the stop on the Kinslow carry, and he is hitting the backfield on 2nd and long as Kanangata'a comes off the edge. Sam Kanangata'a with the tackle for a loss. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Well, they'll spot at the 35, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, if you see Sam just comes untouched, what they're trying to do is they're trying to have the wing pin him on the edge, and he was just too quick up in the inside.
4 wide receivers for Riverside. That's the standard set. They'll spread it out on 3rd and long. Barlage with the snap. 3-man rush. Good protection. Now Barlage wants a shot downfield. Sanders with the leaping attempt, but the pass incomplete. Bennett Williams, Isaiah Downs on the coverage. And a quick 3 and out for Riverside, so the teams trade 3 and outs to start the game.
Same thing though with Riverside. The quarterback had a lot of time there. It looked like they rushed. Looked like they were rushing 3. He had time to step up in that pocket. As the game goes on, they might be going to that a little more.
Yeah, Sanders maybe getting away with just a little push off there on Downs, but the pass over his head anyway. And a 4th down. Punting unit on Carson Reed gets the kick away. Carter going to let this one take a bounce. And a sideways bounce, and Riverside will down it at the 29-yard line. That's a kick of 36 yards with no return. Well, 12:32 to go. And each team has had the ball once, nothing doing so far. Well, you go back to a matchup a couple of years ago, Fullerton and San Mateo meeting in the championship game, and it was a similar type of matchup, a very good San Mateo defense. Fullerton came in, putting up just gobs of points all season long. Just a dynamic offense, and San Mateo able to slow it down and turn it into something of a defensive matchup and a 16-12 win eventually for Fullerton. 1st down carry for Jackson. Jackson slips out of a tackle, and he's brought down at the 38-yard line. That's a gain of 9 yards.
I think when you talk about the different matchups when Fullerton coming through, when you play in the South, it's a lot different than playing in the North. They're two different monsters, in my opinion. So everything that you do that works really well sometimes doesn't work against a team from the North, or sometimes it doesn't work against a team from the South. So it's a great opportunity to see different style of football.
Jermaine Jackson, Mr. Do Everything for this team, 44 carries on the season for an average of 7.9 yards per carry, but he also has 40 catches for 571 yards. So they like to move him around, get him in space if they can. Jackson gets the call here, trying to reverse field. They're giving chase. He's going to be thrown for a massive loss.
I think Jackson didn't realize the speed of the nickel coming off the outside.
He didn't realize the speed of Kobe Fitzgerald, or was that Fitzgerald?
It looked like it
or was it Isaiah Powpow? It might have been Powpow. Yeah, it was Powpow coming off the edge. And Powpow giving chase, and you see him wrapping him up there. That is a loss of 9 yards back to the original line of scrimmage, and a 3rd down and 10. Both teams with dynamic safeties. Riverside with Sean Dorso and Isaiah Powpow, both all-conference selections this season, and College of San Mateo, which we'll get to also with Trey Smith and Bennett Williams, who were also all-conference selections. Overloading the near side on 3rd and long. Batari nowhere to go with the football. Now starts to roll. He's got a lot of room on the far side. Going to tuck it and run and pick up the first down out to the 40-yard line.
You saw Riverside start to go with him, and when he started running, they all took off after that direction, and he had their backs turned.
Olatoa eventually forces him out of bounds, but this is a great job by Batari, keeping the play alive.
You can tell Batari's not the biggest kid in the world, so I don't think they want to run him that much. They want to try to protect him against a Riverside defense that's aggressive as they are.
So College of San Mateo picks up the 3rd down. And they have a fresh set of downs. They'll go to Jackson on the jet sweep. He takes a big hit, picks up maybe a yard on the play. Pow on that edge again. Aptly named on the big hit.
Well, the jet sweep was coming across, he didn't accelerate like he should have, and he ended up, bringing it out to the edge and had nowhere to go.
Meanwhile, first flag of the day, and it's going to go against Riverside. And the 15-yard penalty will take it into Riverside territory to the 44-yard line, and another first down for College of San Mateo. Darrell Page back in the backfield. Bunch formation on the far side. Batari looking left. The coverage is good. On the roll, pressure coming. Going to tuck it and run again. He'll get down to the 39-yard line and head out of bounds after a gain of 5 yards.
He did a good job of protecting himself, ducking outside, trying not to take that hit.
And Batari, good job taking what the defense gives him as Jalen Bowens eventually forces him out of bounds. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
So far, Riverside's been playing that 3-man front the whole time. They haven't done more than that. I think it's different for them. They don't see a lot of tight end sets in the South.
Blitz coming on 2nd and 5. Batari steps back now, fires into double coverage. Flags are down. The ball is picked off by Riverside. Tigers have the first turnover as the return out past the 41, but there is a flag down on the opposite side of the field, on the near side. Sean Dorso with his 7th interception of the season.
The left guard there just got beat to the inside, gave up an inside rush, and then Luke had a little too much pressure on him. Looks like he made a bad decision on that throw.
Randy Wright is our referee today. He will have the call. This could be a hugely important call as the Tigers force the turnover. And it's going to go against Riverside. The Tigers, one of the most penalized team in the entire 3C2A during the season. They've been able to more than overcome it. I mean, sometimes it's a product of aggressive football. You'll see some of the top teams among the most penalized as well, but that is a critical penalty that really cost them as it takes the Dorso interception off the board.
Absolutely, and something like that, you're just hoping your kids on the defensive side and the men over there can really just forget about it and just push forward, because they've been doing a great job so far.
First down and 10 from the 29 of Riverside. Snap to Batari. Jackson through a good hole. Bounces off tackles. It's Page, with first down yardage down to the 14-yard line.
This is a tremendous zone play. If you watch your center here, he's working on that zero technique, and he gets him locked up, and then that gives that running back an opportunity to get through that hole. Great play by that center.
Hard running from Darrell Page. First trip into the red zone for San Mateo, where predictably they've been outstanding. 3rd in the 3C2A in red zone scoring percentage, 9th in touchdown scoring percentage in the red zone. They give to Page, sweeping to the near side. Dorso able to bring him down at the 8-yard line for a gain of 6 yards and a 2nd down and 4 coming up. See Page sort of bouncing off Dorso and into Estes.
Well, they're doing a good job of hitting inside then hitting outside. They're making those defensive linemen run laterally. Whenever you have a good defensive line, it's always good to get them running laterally and get them tired out.
San Mateo starting to establish the running game on this drive. They have it at the 9-yard line. 2nd down, play action. Batari with a roll to the left, under pressure now, flings it outside. The catch is made. on the far sideline by Jermaine Jackson at the 6-yard line. Forced out of bounds a couple of yards shy of first down yardage.
Well, when you run the ball that well and you've been doing well with that, you always got to come up to play action, hold those defensive linemen. Did a good job doing that. Just unfortunately, the coverage wasn't fooled by it.
3rd down and 2 from the 6-yard line. College of San Mateo came in converting 45% on 3rd down on the season. Batari on the keeper, off tackle on the left, around the edge, in for a touchdown. San Mateo draws first blood.
Great job by Batari being patient out there, trying to get to the edge, and then sees it and then takes off and goes. You can tell that he saw the opening and he took it.
For Batari, it's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season and his 1st since the opening week of the season.
Well, one of the things San Mateo coaches said is they did not run him a lot. One of the big problems that Modesto Junior College had late in the year, they ran their quarterback all the time, and then when it came time to the championship game, they didn't have him. He was hurt. So I think that San Mateo's been protecting him, but this is a championship game. No reason to protect him now.
That drive took 6 minutes and 20 seconds off the board and results in a touchdown and a 6-0 lead, and Dylan Magharam will come on to try the extra point. And you go back to the penalties, such a huge call after the Tigers had forced the turnover, but 2 penalties on Riverside on that drive. Keeping it alive for San Mateo, and they cash in on the touchdown run by quarterback Luke Batari.
The longer you can keep Riverside offense off the field, the better it is for San Mateo.
Yeah, you can't dial it up any better than that if you're on that San Mateo
Not
sideline.
Absolutely.
Time off the board and a touchdown. Here's the snap placement down. Kick is up and good. San Mateo grabs the 7-0 lead, 7:10 to go in the opening quarter. It's the 3C2A football championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Will set the Tigers up inside their own 20, trailing 7-0. And how long has it been since the Tigers were looking up on the scoreboard?
I don't think they're used to this position, but I don't think a guy like Tom Kraft lets it bother him. I think he'll be just fine, and he's not one, in my opinion, that ever looks at the scoreboard.
Yeah, you go back to the game a couple of weeks ago against Saddleback, the last game of the regular season, and I believe Saddleback grabbed an early first quarter lead before the Tigers came roaring back in that one to win by 31 points. Barlage brings the offense on, receivers left and right. They send Sanders in motion. Barlage screens it out to Sanders. Makes a little move at the 18, but can't get past the second wave.
Great little bubble screen. Great little bubble screen on the outside. Bring your receiver across the back of the formation. Multiple things you can do with that. You drop the bubble screen, and it's like a long handoff, like an outside stretch.
Tua Tavaki with the stop. No gain for Sanders, 2nd and 10. Straight drop for Barlage, guns the near side and completes.
San Mateo brought the house on that one. They brought a couple guys in.
Reggie Ratliff with the reception. Williams able to push him out after a gain of about 4 and a 3rd down. And they're going to call it 8 from the 22. I think it's more about 3rd and 6 for Riverside. Barlage going to take a little time. The Tigers this season on 3rd down also excellent, 47%. Barlage has the snap. Quick throw on the slant, complete for a 1st down for Riverside.
He fit that right in there. San Mateo put everybody on the line of scrimmage, tried to disguise what they're doing up front, dropped a couple linebackers right at the snap of the ball.
It was Rolandis Whitener Jr. with the reception.
That's one of those plays. That quarterback wasn't reading anything. He wasn't looking at anything. He caught that ball. He stepped, flipped, and threw it. He knew exactly where he was going at the snap of that ball.
Leyland with the stop, but the Tigers moved the change. Fresh set of downs at the 34-yard line. Retzlaff in motion. They keep it on the ground with Elijah Bennett spinning out of a tackle for a gain of about 4.
I think Riverside just trying to find where they want to go with their offense. They're probing a little bit. You can tell they're trying to pick at different places.
Junial with the stop. 2nd and 6, and a quick snap to Barledge. Not sure if he was ready for it. Now the flags come. Barledge stepping up and just heaves this one away.
Definitely a mistake. Center did not get the call, and he snapped it quick.
If it goes against Riverside, it will be their 3rd penalty here in the first quarter. Still no penalties on College of San Mateo.
Well, Riverside seems to be pointing at it's a defense. Maybe it was encroachment, and the center's taught to snap the ball the second somebody comes over.
Well, the center for Riverside City College is Tuliafau, and he anchored this offensive line that had 2 all-conference selections, and Tuliafau was one of them. So obviously he's had a great season, and it would be a heady play.
Well, one of the things I always taught my center is that it doesn't matter where we are in the play. If somebody steps over the edge, snap the ball right away. But looks obviously this time that wasn't what they were doing.
I want to correct that very quickly. Sorry, it's Ryan Tuliafau. 6'3", 325, out of Junipero Serra High School in Riverside in an all-conference selection. But all for naught as the call was against Riverside. So the 5-yard penalty makes it 2nd down and 11. Flags are down again. Barledge stepping up, going to scramble, but he is dragged down after a gain of perhaps a yard to Yono on the stop.
San Mateo's doing a good job of disguising what they're doing up front, because the last couple of plays they'll have all the linebackers on the line of scrimmage. They'll drop a few off here and there, and as a lineman, that's a tough call, because you're used to seeing fronts and you're making your calls off of your fronts, and then when you have everybody covered in every gap, you really got to decide on who's coming and who's not. And it looks like San Mateo's doing a good job getting inside.
Anyuano Tuiono, an interesting story for College of San Mateo, the leading tackler coming into this game for the Bulldogs. Didn't even play the first half of the season. Really came in midway through the season, and the guy that Tim Tulloch talks about, obviously in glowing terms, one of those players that just waited for his opportunity, and when he got it, he hasn't let go of that linebacker spot. The flag goes against San Mateo, and a running play going nowhere. Tua Tavaki off the edge again. I think that was Jalen Young on the carry. And a 3rd down and 5 as Thomas Kinslow returns in the backfield for the Tigers.
Well, it looks like they were pressing a little bit with some man coverage, press man, but let's see what they have.
Snap to Barledge, good pocket, steps up, looking deep again, has a man and completes. Dylan Laurent down to the 14-yard line.
San Mateo tried to gamble on that and go man free and have press coverage all up on the line of scrimmage. And unfortunately, I think what Tom Kraft said is, hey, I'm going to take my receiver on the outside against that DB, and that was a win on that one, definitely.
Yeah, one-on-one with Trey Smith, and Laurent able to get behind him for the big play. That gets the Tigers into the red zone. They have been outstanding all season long, as you would expect. Misdirection as Kinslow gets the call. Kanangata'a with the stop. No gain on the play.
Looks like the Riverside had a fullback in there that time, right behind the right tackle, trying to get a little power in there.
Riverside, 81% red zone scores, 69 red zone touchdowns. In terms of percentage, each of those numbers tops in the 3C2A. And I suppose that's to be expected for a team that's averaging over 50 points a game.
Absolutely.
Not an earth-shattering shock there. 2nd down and 10. Barledge wants to get the snap off, but a timeout called by College of San Mateo. Tim Tulloch wants to talk it over. 3:20 to go here in the opening quarter, and Riverside on the drive. San Mateo with the lead.
You could see the confusion on the defense. There was some miss personnel there, misgrouping, so they had to get their timeout in to make sure they corrected it. Down to this end of the field, you don't want to make mistakes like that or personnel mistakes.
Got to look again at the big play. Dylan Laurent, the 44-yard reception that moved the Tigers into the red zone where they face a 2nd and 9 now from the 16-yard line. And, well, we thought it would be fascinating. And, Coach, I think it's shaping up to be that way. We saw College of San Mateo able to establish something of a running game on that drive. And that's news against a Riverside front 7. But meanwhile, the Tigers coming back as you would expect they would, a big play, and they've got themselves in position.
I think San Mateo's doing a good job of mixing it up, running their quarterback, poking into the inside with the inside zone and trying to get outside on the stretch and doing different things with the fly sweep. I think Riverside needs to just continue to do what they're doing. When they get the advantage, when it comes to defense, like in that deep play they had when they had man-free press coverage, they went to their best receiver on the outside and, best matchup. And so I think if they continue to match up, and I think Coach Kraft will be doing that, it's going to be exciting.
So far, 5 carries for 5 yards for Riverside on the ground. As Kinslow comes out to the right of Barledge. Bunch formation for the Tigers. Quick snap, whistles before the snap. They're trying to go to the sweep to Laurent.
And one thing we got to keep in mind is that San Mateo defense hasn't given up a touchdown in a month. It's been a month since they've given anything up.
It's going to be a strange feeling. 6 times this year they've allowed 7 points or fewer. Only 1 time did they allow more than 17 points all season long. It's a fascinating matchup because every stat that you can come up with on offense for Riverside, you seem to be able to come up with the mirror stat on defense for College of San Mateo. The flag goes against the Bulldogs, so a 2nd and 4 for the Tigers now from the 11-yard line. Snap to Barledge, the give straight ahead. Solid yardage down to the 6 for Kinslow. Good enough to move the chains. It'll be 1st and goal.
Another thing about Coach Kraft, he's a pretty simple guy. If he sees 5 guys in the box, he's going to run at that box. If you see 6 and they're lined up, you'll see him start to go to the outside. There you just see he saw an advantage and he went straight at that advantage.
It's Tuiono able to trip up Kinslow, but not before he was able to get the 1st down. We're down to 3:16 to go in the opening quarter. But hold everything. Another penalty against the Tigers. This will be marked from the spot, though. I believe this was a personal foul. End of the play, and a 15-yard penalty.
Illegal block below the waist.
Okay.
Typically, when you see that, you see a receiver coming in from the outside chopping, and they can't come from the outside and chop downfield. But that's a tough one there for them.
So that backs them up to the 21-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 19. 3 wide receivers bunched to the right. Barledge with the snap. Stepping up, has all day, rolling right now. The pressure starting to come. Barledge still directing and now just has to throw it away.
Unfortunately, the field runs out when you get to the side.
Right. There is a boundary.
There is a boundary.
Well, that's a great job on coverages to see Tuiono bringing the pressure and nowhere to go with the football for Barledge. And now Riverside, moments ago, just that close to a 1st and goal, faces a 3rd and forever from their own 21-yard line.
Yeah, that changes your play calling altogether here. You're down in there and you're inside the 10-yard line. You're feeling good, and now all of a sudden you're backed up. It's a tough call.
Empty backfield for Barledge. 3rd and 14. Low snap. Barledge has it, looking right, throwing right. In the flat, complete for minimal yardage. Smith quickly on the stop after Sanders makes the catch.
Decided to go empty backfield there, and San Mateo did the same type of thing where they disguise it. They've got 4 men rushing up front, and 2 linebackers lining, and then they drop at the snap. So it's a difficult read when you're at quarterback in that situation.
Ricardo Chavez on to try a field goal of 34 yards. He was 6 of 7 on the season, with a long of 42. Try this one from the right hash. Whistles before the snap. Another flag. This is going to go against Riverside, and the penalties really starting to pile up in this first quarter for Riverside City College.
I think we spoke too soon when we said San Mateo was about to give up a touchdown. They've done their best to hold it, and that's what kept them in the game every game all year this year.
Well, when the other team helps you out a little bit with the occasional penalty to stall a drive, but this one going to go against College of San Mateo, a delay of game. So it'll be a 29-yard field goal attempt for Chavez now. Snap, placement down, the kick away from Chavez, and it's good. Riverside gets on the board, answering back. The field goal from Chavez makes it 7-3 San Mateo. It's the 3C2A football championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Welcome you back to Bakersfield for the 3C2A football championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. The kick away. This one taken a yard deep. It's Jackson angling to the left, and he is cut down just shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
That was a tremendous tackle. He had a crease. If he didn't get that tackle, he had a good opportunity to get through there. So what a great open field tackle.
Well, it's a uniform change. According to the program, we don't have a number 26 on Riverside, so apologies, but well disguised, unfortunately. First and 10 from the 19.
Going back to that zone, and they're just trying to impose their will, and they have the ability, and they've been doing it. So continue with their same game plan, run the ball, let the clock go, and keep the other side off the field.
Page with the carry, Hansen with the stop after a gain of 3. Second down and 7 upcoming for College of San Mateo. Latari gives to Page. Page trying to run out of a tackle in the backfield, and he's dragged down after a gain of a couple.
Looking for that cutback, just a regular zone. He's pressing the line of scrimmage, and he sees that, tackle come off. He decides to plant his foot and go the other way. Typically what we try to teach him is that they got to press that line of scrimmage a little harder, but it's hard to press that line of scrimmage when that one technique's coming through the A-gap. It makes it difficult.
Fitzgerald eventually on the stop got a pretty good look at what looked like a hold on Hansen that wasn't called, but a 3rd and 4 coming up.
As an offensive lineman, I can tell you hold on every play.
Batari hit as he throws, lofting the near side, and a late flag. The pass incomplete. He was looking for Carter. Estes had the coverage. We'll take a look at the replay, but the flag comes in.
Coach Kraft's looking for uncatchable there, but clearly the receiver was hit before the ball came.
Well, no hesitation on the call. Right after the contact from Estes, it looked a little late initially on the play, but you get that angle, you see that right after the contact, the flag comes out. This one's going to go against Riverside.
They're ruled it late in
half. All right, so they are going to pick it up.
Ruling it as uncatchable, and they waved it off. That's something rare. You don't see that much very often. That's a great opening for Riverside.
That's a big call on a 3rd and 4. That'll bring on the punting unit, and the Tigers get a big 3 and out, and they'll get it back with 1:03 remaining here in the opening quarter. Estes, another unanimous all-conference choice on this Riverside defense. He had good coverage on Carter. Dorso waiting back at his 40-yard line. High kick. Dorso going to let this one bounce. And it takes a good San Mateo bounce. This one's going to head all the way down to the 18-yard line. That is a kick of 57 yards with no return.
Definitely helps out the punt team when that ball's allowed to hit and it gets a roll like that. Typically, you're going to want your receiving back to get up there and get that ball and not let it bounce. But unfortunately, it did, and you're pinned a little bit.
Barlage back on. First down play, keep it on the ground. Kinslow with running room, makes a little move at the 25. Out past the 30 and brought down at the 34-yard line. It was Leyland eventually with the stop, but not before Kinslow rumbles for 15 yards.
What a tremendous misdirection. They have the guard pulling through and they bring the wing back and he ends up getting a great block out there. Went back to the exact same play.
Excuse me, it looked like it was Tuiona that got back for the stop as Leyland got an arm on Kinslow, but he was the victim of the good move from Kinslow at about the 30-yard line. 3-yard pickup for Kinslow on 1st and 10. Under a minute to go. Time winding down in this first quarter, down to 10 seconds. Barlage's going to look to run one more play. Quick pitch to Laurent trying to get the edge. Run out of bounds, no gain on the play. And that will be the final play of the opening quarter. Through one. Riverside trailing San Mateo. It's 7-3, the 3C2A football championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Second quarter from Bakersfield, 7-3 San Mateo. Luke Patari 1 of 3 for 3 yards in the first half, but if you're the Bulldogs, hey, you got the 7-3 lead after one quarter. It's been more of the same. Good job on defense, a little bit of running game.
I don't think San Mateo in any way is really working. They're worried about stats.
Right?
I think San Mateo is doing everything they can to get that ball down the field and keep the offense of Riverside off the field. And I think, and speaking to, again, as I said before, talking to the coaches, their whole game plan is to try to get their guys that are capable of making plays, get the ball to them, and they may have protected them through the year, and now it's no time to protect anybody. It's a matter of getting the points.
Worrying about stats, I guess that's my job, Tom.
Absolutely.
3rd down and 6 from the 37. Riverside 2 of 4 on 3rd down so far today. Barlage with Kinslow in the backfield. San Mateo showing blitz. Now they drop off. Pass dumped out in the flat and complete near first down yardage. Looking for Bennett. And with the spot, I think Bennett got it.
It looks like they run a little twist down up at the top, and Riverside did a tremendous job switching it off and picking it up. They're starting to play games up front in San Mateo. Those guys are some big dudes, I'll tell you what. And, if they can impose their will, they will.
That was a great job by Bennett, stretching out as he was tripped up, gets the spot. First down yardage for Riverside. Whistles before the snap. Penalty going to go against San Mateo. 5-yard penalty brings it out to the 49-yard line, and a 1st and 5 coming up for Riverside.
Well, that's a couple times that's happened already today.
Tigers bunch it up. They keep it on the ground and hit in the backfield. Another flag down. Coming off the edge, it was Devontae Matthew. As Beasley gets the carry, and he is hit immediately.
Matthews on the outside, and he's obviously got a clear, rush. And they're trying to do the old wrap play where their guards wrap around their center. They're going to take that wing and push him up to the inside as well. But unfortunately, that end on the outside read it too quick, and he was already in the backfield, and they had the handoff.
Meanwhile, a chop block penalty is going to be assessed against Riverside, and they'll take it all the way back to the 34 after San Mateo takes the penalty, so a 1st and 20 now. Substitutions as Sanders and Laurent come back on for Riverside. Barlage, quick throw, nearly picked off. Tua Tavaki had that well diagnosed as they were looking for Isaiah Leith on a slant.
Yeah, that was a quick slant. He knows right away he's going to throw that. Tua Tavaki was able to get out there and just get his hand up. And boy, if he got his head around sooner, he might be in the end zone right now.
That's absolutely nothing but green grass in front of him. If he can come down with that football. So the Tigers dodge a bullet in the 2nd and 20. Now from their own 34. Play action, Barlage stepping up, still looking downfield, but he is hit and dropped back at the 30-yard line. Tua Tavaki continues to be all over the field, moving up to bring down Barlage.
Tua Tavaki did a great job reading that, understanding to come down out of his zone and to stop that play. San Mateo's been loosening up a little bit here. You can tell when it's 1st and 20 and 2nd and 20, you don't have to load the box as much, and you can put guys in space and take away those throw lanes.
3-yard loss on the play, a 3rd and 23 now for Riverside from their own 31-yard line. 3-man rush as they drop off. They'll keep it on the ground. And the carry ahead to the 35-yard line for a gain of 4 yards.
Well, I guarantee the San Mateo sideline was yelling, watch, screen, and draw, because every coaching staff in America is yelling, watch, screen, and draw when it's 3rd and 20.
It was Cole Bowsley who got the carry and a gain of 4 yards. Brings up 4th down. So that'll bring on Carson Reed.
San Mateo's doing a great job stopping, and Riverside's doing a great job stopping themselves.
Yeah, penalty's been a big storyline so far. Carter takes this one from the 22. And brought down just shy of the 30. 8-yard return after a punt of 36 yards.
Yeah, the 2 main penalties that Riverside's been having to deal with are those illegal chop blocks. I didn't see it on the last one, but there's something that's going on that we got a couple of those in the first half. That's you can go all year without getting those. So I don't know if there's miscommunication on what's being done, but it's definitely hurting Riverside.
Meanwhile, yet another penalty, absolutely, on Riverside. They'll mark this one, or I should say on San Mateo. They'll mark this one off back to the 15-yard line.
And I'll be honest with you, Jeff, as an offensive lineman, I haven't seen a chop block I haven't liked at all.
Right.
I lived off the chop block when I was playing. It was the best thing ever. So these new rules, it'd be difficult to play under.
We all bring a little bit of ourselves to the world.
Absolutely.
It's Jackson in the backfield with Batari. 3 wide receivers for San Mateo. Jackson gets the call. Straight ahead, he bounces off a tackle. He's out to the 18-yard line. The Tigers are going to say they have a fumble here. What's the call? And I believe they do.
Well, once again, you have a running back that hasn't been hit all year, and they've been. I think he averaged 6 carries on the game throughout the year, and now he's had well over that. And he starts taking those hits.
See this one knocked out.
Absolutely.
That's a great job. Pow coming in off the edge, knocking that ball free. Riverside City College plus 17 on turnovers on the season. They forced 34. That was 2nd in the 3C2A. And they have the first turnover here today. This one will stand up, no penalty. And the Tigers now with a big opportunity to perhaps go in front.
Well, they need to capitalize on this opportunity. This is their chance and their opportunity.
Leith in motion. Pistol formation. Snap to Barlage. A handoff on the right side. Kinslow for a gain of perhaps a yard.
That's the same wrap play that they like to run. Their guard is wrapping around the center, and they bring that wing back behind him. A little bit like the counter play, but it's hitting more inside than the counter play hits on the outside.
Tuiono with the stop. 2nd down and 9. Tigers quickly back to the line. Second trip into the red zone for Riverside in the game. They had a field goal back in the first quarter. Laurent in motion. They keep it on the ground with Kinslow over his left guard. Bounces off a tackle. Kinslow's in for a touchdown.
That's the way to capitalize.
17-yard run for Kinslow. 7th rushing touchdown of the season for Kinslow.
That's a straight zone there where all the offensive linemen are hat on hat, just go straight ahead and try to get through the gap and get through there. Tremendous job by the offensive line for Riverside.
Chavez will come on for the extra point as Kinslow heads to the sideline. He's now got 44 yards and a touchdown here in this first half. And Riverside grabs the lead 10-7, first turnover of the game, and the Tigers take full advantage.
Well, you can't fumble a ball that close to the end zone down there. That's just a tough mistake for him. I think it's going to wake him up, though. I think the young man, he'll be just fine the rest of the day, but those are some tough ones.
Well, when you play against a defense that's so good all season long, I mean, we're talking about first touchdown that they've given up in 3 weeks, you need short fields.
I think that when you're looking at a game like this and you're looking at the magnitude of it as a coach, you know, your whole preparation when you start recruiting in January is to get to this game. And I don't care what anybody says, you're always trying to play for that championship game. And to have it come down to fumbling the ball inside the 20-yard line is definitely frustrating as a coach.
Cervellis with the kick. Carter going to take this one at the 5. To the 15, 20, 25. A little lane for Carter. He's out past the 30 before he's tripped up. They'll spot it at the 30, a 25-yard return.
Carter is excellent on this kickoff return here. You see him accelerate straight ahead, and at some point he's gonna have that opportunity to break through there. When you see a return, you know, the way they sprint up through the middle, that's what you want them to do.
You know, very early here in the second quarter, but you get the feeling, to me, this is a big drive for San Mateo, how they bounce back from the fumble. Also, against a team like Riverside, you just don't want to let them get going downhill. Batari on a designed roll. Looking deep. Now tries to loft, looking for his tight end, Jason Lloyd, and the pass incomplete. Lloyd missed the game last week, I should say 2 weeks ago against Modesto, the NCFA championship, but he was really coming into his own of late as a favorite target of Batari. 7 catches for 134 yards over the previous 3 games. He returns to the lineup, and one more weapon for Luke Batari.
Well, nobody can question how good Luke is. He's had such a tremendous year. He just in a big game, we just got to see him step up.
Completing 60% of his passes, 18 touchdowns against 4 interceptions. He's in big trouble here. Thrown for a sack back inside the 15-yard line. It's Zachariah Holyfield on the blitz.
Well, he's a late blitzer, and he's coming from the other side of the field, and he just comes across the line of scrimmage, and I don't think Luke saw him because he was disguised behind the D-line.
They will spot it at the 19. Still a loss of 11 yards, and a 3rd and 21 coming up for College of San Mateo.
Great stunt by Riverside there to be able to pull him in and get him pinned back.
Batari had only been sacked 1 time in the last 6 games for College of San Mateo. Guns and completes to Carter out near the 29-yard line. That is well shy of first down yardage, a 10-yard gain on the play, but it brings up 4th down and will bring on the punting unit.
Well, you talk about the protection and Luke only having 1 sack in the last 6 games. The difference is in these championship-style teams is the fronts. The offensive line and the defensive line. That's what makes a difference in junior college football. You know, you see your high-level teams have tremendous protection, have tremendous defenses, and that's what puts them in games like this.
Dorso waiting at his 35-yard line. He has averaged 13.6 yards per return on the season. Good kick from Sullivan, and Dorso makes the fair catch at the 31-yard line. Nearly lost his footing as he went to make that fair catch, so near disaster averted.
Dorso made the fair fall right there. He made an easy catch look difficult.
He's not going to get a lot of style points, but he got the job done.
None at all. But again, he secured the football. That's what you want. I'd rather have a kid on the ground securing the football than a kid standing up and letting it bounce by him.
Absolutely. The Tigers come back on offense. After the short scoring drive on their previous drive, they'll look to extend on the 3-point lead. 10:29 to go in the first half. It's the 3C2A championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Barledge with receivers left and right.
We've been talking a lot about Tom Kraft, the offensive coordinator, but the defense coordinator for Riverside. Coach Cuck's doing a great job.
And really has all season long. Riverside, one of those fascinating teams. If you look at the stats, they're kind of middle of the pack in terms of numbers, but you always have the feeling that's the kind of thing that you see sometimes with particularly dynamic, prolific offenses is you get late in games with big leads and the passing numbers get inflated a little bit as you're kind of running out the clock and just doing a little bend but don't break. But this is the kind of defense you need to really see them firsthand to see how they can get after it. It's a terrific matchup on the defensive side of the ball. They'll empty the backfield on 1st and 15 after the penalty. Barledge with good protection throws over the middle. The pass nearly intercepted but caught.
Yeah, San
Laurent
Mateo,
with the reception.
San Mateo just rushing a 3-man front with a single linebacker inside. It seems like they're trying to open it up a little bit, not pressing the line of scrimmage like they were before.
Tuiono wrapping up Laurent as Bennett Williams went for the interception and nearly got it. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd down and 6. They keep it on the ground. Good hole for Winslow. Winslow lost the football. Bulldogs saying they've got it.
Well, San Mateo was clearly definitely confused on this play. They had an open receiver down there, not covered. Riverside gets a playoff, and the young man just has a hard time holding on to that ball.
It was Akil Leyland. I can't tell if Leyland knocked that ball free or if Kinslow just lost the handle with nobody there.
Like Leyland came through and had a great punch on the ball. He landed his hand right where that ball is and pushed it right out.
So the teams trade turnovers, and boy, does that come just in time if you are a College of San Mateo fan. And they appeared to maybe be just slightly back on their heels. The defense comes up with a huge play, creating the turnover. College of San Mateo, for their part, plus 15 turnover differential on the season. So they have done a great job with turnovers, creating opportunities as well. Whistles before the snap.
Again, I think San Mateo needs to go what they started off with by trying to get that inside and outside zone working, try to get to the edges and to get lateral and get those defensive guys up front running to the sidelines.
The offensive success really came on the ground in that first quarter drive with Page, Darrell Page, 6 carries for 31 yards in the game, really keying that drive as the vast majority of those yards came on that scoring drive. 1st and 5 after the penalty against Riverside. It's Page in the backfield. Now they'll send him in motion to the left side. Batari, straight drop, good protection, but throws into double coverage. Wanted Jason Lloyd. Dangerous pass, and the pass incomplete. Good look at this one again, and dropping down.
Yeah, he had an opportunity at that. Once again, Riverside.
Olatoa, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. Jeff, it looks like Riverside just going a 3-man rush as well, and they're flooding the zones. You see those guys just dropping back, trying to take away those short passes.
They bunch 3 wide receivers to the near side on 2nd down and 5. Page running right, looking for a lane, brought down after a gain of a couple.
On the outside stretch to the tight end side there, they feel they can get around the outside, and he had the opportunity.
Navarro Silva with the stop. Another all-conference player on that defensive line. Alex Navarro Silva, 3rd down and 3 for College of San Mateo. The football resting on the Riverside 27-yard line. Batari looks over the Tiger defense. And now perhaps some confusion on that San Mateo sideline. And San Mateo is going to have to burn a timeout. That's their second charge timeout here in this first half. 9:04 to go. We'll step aside briefly. 10-7 Riverside. It's the 3C2A Football Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Big third down coming up for San Mateo, facing a 3rd and 3. They're 2 of 5 on third down in the game. 3 wide receivers for the Bulldogs. Snap to Batari. Blitz coming. Batari with good protection. Throws and completes, finding Mason Starling down at the 20-yard line.
He fit that right in there. What a tremendous throw by Luke to push that in there.
Batari, or I should say Dorso, with the tackle. But Starling with his first catch and a big first down for College of San Mateo. They'll have it now at the Riverside 20. They make their second trip into the red zone. Page in the backfield. Play action. Batari scrambles away from coverage, throws on the run, and throws it away. The coverage was good. Ross had the coverage on Carter on that far side.
Well, so often on the front you're trying to put hat on hat, and especially when you're playing on the inside. But that time Luke had the opportunity to play hat on hat on the defensive end coming upfield, and he got outside of him, won that matchup.
.8:31 remaining in the second quarter. And Batari looking to the sideline. Are you a little surprised that it looks like San Mateo has really settled into throwing on nearly every down? Here's another throw coming. 2nd down and 10. Had a man, but the pass incomplete. Jackson had some space around the 5-yard line. Might have been miscommunication between him and Batari. And look here, but for some reason, San Mateo in the last couple of drives really gone away from the running game. I want to say Batari has thrown nearly every play on this drive.
Sure.
3rd down and 10. Now you probably need to think about throwing it.
Well, a lot of times it looks like San Mateo, what they're doing is they're letting the defense dictate what they're doing, in the sense that they're seeing what they're given, they're going from there. They see something that they can take advantage of.
Snap to Batari. Blitz coming. Good protection. Batari looking right. Throws right, and it's dropped. Right at the 10-yard line. Looking for Jackson. It's been a tough first half for Jermaine Jackson.
Jermaine Jackson just dropped that ball. Plain and simple, it was right where it needed to be, and he took his eyes off of it and looked to run to the inside, and he lost sight of it.
Yeah, you see Lionel Masivi in the area, and sure first down goes by the wayside as Jackson can't find the handle, and instead we'll see Dylan Maghadan for a field goal attempt of 37 yards. Maghadan on the season, a perfect 10 of 10. And this might not be Maghadan. Line drive kick, and it's no good.
Wide left.
And again, it's number 89, of which there is no 89, so I suspect it's Maghadan who attempted the field goal. Either way, the kick misses left, and San Mateo fails to cash in on a good scoring opportunity as the missed field goal leaves the score at 10-7 Riverside.
That was a tough snap, and the holder had a hard time with it. Looks like he fumbled a little bit and wasn't able to get it down. The kicker hesitated, and it was ugly from the snap.
So the Tigers dodge a bullet, keep the lead. Barledge brings the offense back out. Bennett in motion. Barledge looking right. Throws and completes out to the 28-yard line, finding Isaiah Leith.
Did a good job of finding something out of nothing there, getting to the outside and having that receiver sit in the scramble rule, sitting down on the sideline.
Devontae Matthew able to run him out of bounds after a gain of 8 yards and a 2nd down and 2 now for Riverside from their own 28-yard line. Barlich looking to throw over the middle. Catch is made. 1st down. Out to the 37-yard line. Laurent with the reception. Kanangada'a with the tackle. But the Tigers move the chains.
Laurent knew once he caught that ball, you'll see, watch him cringe. Oh, it was coming. But at least he kept his hands on the ball and made the play.
Big linebacker staring him down. Not a fun feeling, I imagine. But Laurent makes the catch. Another completion. Back to Leith, out to the 44-yard line.
This is where San Mateo needs to do something and, try to get a stun or a blitz to try to disrupt the quarterback. If he gets in his rhythm with those short passes, then it's gonna tear him apart.
Cooper Jr. with the stop. Barlich now 10 of 13, so he's indeed getting that momentum going. A give to Bennett, and Bennett struggles forward near the 1st down marker. Bouncing off the tackle of Tua Tavaki. Good hard running from Elijah Bennett. They will give him the 1st down. 1st and 10 from the 47. Tigers on the move. Play action. Barlich has a man wide open. Giovanni Sanders into San Mateo territory. Down to the 34-yard line. A gain of 19 yards.
Well, San Mateo loaded that line of scrimmage, as you saw again, where they put everybody up on there to try to create something, and unfortunately they left that void in the middle of the field.
Leyland eventually with the stop. A 1st down carry for Bennett, 5 more yards, a 2nd and 5 upcoming for the Tigers. And you go back to the scoring drive, which came off of a turnover, and I think you have to say this may be the best drive for the Tigers of the game so far.
Absolutely.
Started back at their own 20.
Riverside looks like they're getting their groove here.
Play action. Barlich with a straight drop, all kinds of time. Throws into the end zone. Retzlaff's got it.
Tremendous catch by Retzlaff. He had two defenders on him, and he got that fit right in there. Tremendous job. You got a penalty? No penalty.
29 yards. Well, you see the flag come in on the replay, but did they pick it up? I don't see any indication, so it's going to go down as a touchdown pass for Barlich as he finds Retzlaff for Barlich. 30th touchdown pass of the season.
Well, I see you're starting to see Riverside get into their tempo and start moving the ball in that tempo, and that shows exactly what they can do.
And you just can't let this team start to hide on you. As the extra point is up and good. 80-yard drive for the Tigers. Barlich finding Retzlaff, and Riverside pushes it out to a 17-7 lead. You're watching the 3C2A Football Championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Out to the 20, good hold, tripped up at the 25, the ball's out.
Once again.
No signal yet.
Carter's
Looked
down.
like the Tigers might have had the first opportunity at it. You can ill afford to see this. If you're San Mateo. Flags are coming down everywhere now.
That's looking like that ball didn't come out. Looking at the replay, it looks like he was down, the ball hit the ground. Could be wrong, but he coming full speed through there, and he gets knocked, and then he lands on the ball, and it pops out.
Looking like he backed this one up a little bit. That's a great job, Mike Spade and Emery Johnson. on the broadcast today, and
That
yeah, no question
ball
about
is
it.
hitting the ground. That didn't look
What
like
a
fumble
great
to me.
job in the booth, but on camera as well. Thank you so much, guys. You can really see there that is good an angle as you can have, and as strong an argument as you can have for instant replay here in the 3C2A.
Yeah.
Careful what I wish for. Hey, you're the commissioner of the SCFA. What are the chances here?
I am not the commissioner of the SCFA. I'm the president.
The
of
president of the SCFA.
I don't make any of those decisions. All I do is wrangle all the other coaches and ADs up and let them make the decisions.
Got to tell you, I haven't really made the distinction there. You're the head honcho at the SCFA over there.
The head honcho is a gentleman by the name of Jim Sartoris, tremendous coach for years and years and years, and athletic director at Glendale College, and he's the guy that makes those calls. But anytime anybody wants to put a replay in the community college, you're going to see him in the front line.
You don't want to see that, huh?
Absolutely not. I'm a purist. I love the fact the game is called on the run, the game is moved, and sometimes I think you start getting too much, and it takes away from the game.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a careful what you wish for kind of situation.
Absolutely.
When you see how something like that might ultimately be implemented, you might long for the days before.
Absolutely.
Going back there. Anyway, the call on the field is that it will belong to San Mateo, so great job getting the call right. Penalty assessed on the play as well against Riverside. So out of all that, San Mateo comes out with the football and very good field position at their own 44-yard line.
Great field position. What San Mateo needs to do right now on this drive is to establish the momentum on their side. They need to keep Riverside off the field, try to use the rest of the clock in the half, and try to sustain the drive that's going to take them down and score with a little bit of time on the clock.
6:11 remaining in the first half, and I think if you're Tim Tulloch, you'd love to maybe chew up some of this clock, head into halftime, at least having posted the last score, if you can.
That's where the momentum is.
Whistles again before the snap. Again, Randy Wright, our referee today. The Riverside fans starting to get into it. And after the first touchdown for San Mateo, a lot to cheer about if you're a Riverside fan, as they have stormed back 17 unanswered. Page, off tackle on the right side, met after a gain of a yard.
Going to that outside zone stretch, trying to get him pushed to the outside and get to the perimeter, and he's doing a good job. He's got the speed to do it. He's got one gap coming through there. He could be gone. So keep probing, and they'll have that opportunity.
Yeah, they're running over there in the direction of Isaiah Powpow, who's been pretty stalwart against the run here in this first half. Gets a little help from Kobe Fitzgerald. So a 1-yard gain and a 2nd and 9 coming up for San Mateo. Snap to Batari. 3-man rush. Batari with time. Throws on the near side. And the pass incomplete. Jackson, the intended receiver. He was covered by Jalen Bowens on the outside.
Throwing across the field is definitely a hard throw to make for him. As he's trying to roll out this way a little bit and push that ball to the outside, it was just not on target.
And another 3rd and long for San Mateo. 3 of 7 on 3rd down. Batari with receivers left and right. Tigers come with a 3-man rush. Batari stepping up, delayed blitz. Batari under pressure, running left, runs out of bounds, well short of the first down is Fitzgerald. Able to run Batari out at the 47-yard line, and a quick 3-and-out. San Mateo with an opportunity there, but they'll have to give it back here as the punting unit comes on.
Tremendous job of the linebacker on that series. He had 3-man rush. I mean, he saw Luke taking off. He just turned it on and got on his horse and then forced that play to the outside.
Southern Conference Player of the Year, as you saw the graphic, Kobe Fitzgerald, and really spearheaded this defense that maybe has been a little bit overshadowed by some of the numbers put up by the offense, but has had an outstanding campaign. And a kick out of bounds near the 20-yard line. They will spot it at the 20. 33-yard kick for Carson Reed. And Riverside will get it back, leading it 17-7, 4:57 remaining in the first half. Barledge, who spent much of the first 2/3 of this season splitting time at quarterback with Mike Irwin. Irwin, the returning sophomore, and Barledge, the freshman. after an injury to Irwin, really took hold of the job and has been the lone signal caller for much of this last month, backed up a little bit by Tyler Thomas in some of the blowout wins, but it's really been Barlage's offense here over the last month or so, and he has done a phenomenal job. Talked about the run the last 3 weeks against the top three other teams in the SCFA. Saddleback, College of the Canyons, Mount San Antonio College, they outscored them by 120 points over 3 weeks.
Well, we always say you go with the hot hand, you ride the horse that's running the best, and obviously he's the one that's doing it. He's doing a tremendous job. I think he's managing this really well in the second quarter.
Nice catch by Sanders on a ball thrown behind him out to the 34-yard line. Good enough for a first down. First down carry. A gain of perhaps a yard by Thomas Kinslow.
I think one to watch on that offensive line is 54, Theo Bullard. He's done a tremendous job pulling and getting through the hole and whacking people in the face. Just a fun kid to watch.
Second down and 9. Play action. Barlage under pressure. Able to evade. Throws on the run.
Oh, wow.
And completes the pass looking. Let's see what the call is. I believe he was looking, as we'll look at the replay here, for Retzlaff on that far side. And looked to me initially like Retzlaff was able to get his feet down.
Great focus by Retzlaff getting that catch and then trying to keep his feet down. Obviously, we're not on that far sideline, so they have a better view than we do.
Good look
from here. It looks good.
Here, and slows one down and try and give you another angle. This call is going to be that the catch was out of bounds, so the incompletion makes it 3rd and 9 from the 35. So it goes against Riverside. Quick throw, catch is made. Out to the 40, looking for Laurent. Laurent brought down at the 41, a couple of yards shy of first down yardage, and fourth down coming up.
Well, Dylan once again saw that pressure was coming. I enjoy watching a kid that knows when he's going to get hit, and he takes the dive. And, he poked his way through there, and then when he saw that wave coming, he definitely dropped underneath it. He's good at that.
Laurent on the season, second on the team in receptions, 51 for 676 yards. Carson Reed's kick. Carter signals for the fair catch and makes it. A little juggle, but able to come down with it at the 13-yard line.
Kept it exciting.
So good kick from Reed. Able to pin College of San Mateo back at their own 13-yard line. 3:12 to go here in the first half. How do you play this if you're Tim Tulloch here? Obviously, it's a dangerous defense that you're going against, and you got a long field to deal with.
I think San Mateo is struggling to find where they're comfortable. In the first part of the game, they did a great job running and hitting the inside-outside zone. But I think in this last quarter, they've had a difficult time finding where they're comfortable.
Delayed handoff. Page with a little stutter step in the backfield, and not much running room. A gain of a yard.
Just great penetration by the tackler to do tackle, and they're getting to that B gap and just stopping the play. When you have a defensive lineman in the backfield at the handoff, something went wrong up front. Something went wrong up front.
Olatoa with the stop. Second down and 9. Snap to Batari. Blitz coming off the edge. Nice job by Batari. Able to find a little bit of running room, and now heads out of bounds after a gain of about 3. Good coverage downfield.
Yeah, he did have good coverage, but he missed his wide receiver there. He was standing right out in the open. I think Luke was looking downfield a little more. If he had the opportunity to see that, he made a great play avoiding the blitz. Yeah. But gosh, you just want to see him get outside and be able to make that throw next.
Yeah, he's got Carter and Jackson on that side. Looked like he had some room to look downfield, but elected to tuck and run. Did pick up 3 yards, brings up a 3rd down and 6 as the clock winds down to 2:08 and counting remaining here in the first half. Jackson in motion to the near side. Batari looking left, under pressure. Throws off the back foot, nobody home. Only Tigers in the area. The pass incomplete. We do have a flag down.
It looks like we're going to have roughing the passer. Looks like he was hit after the play.
Yeah. We'll have a great look at it here. Just take your pick, and the hit coming from Jalen Bowens.
Yeah, Jalen made a bad decision on that. He lowered his shoulder, put his head down, and worked through the quarterback. Now, you can say it's a bad decision because it's going to hurt him on a penalty, but anytime you get a shot at a quarterback, and it's not going to be a dangerous play for you, I don't look sideways at that.
Well, if it's a call against Bowens here, if it's a roughing the passer, that would be the 10th penalty for 100 yards in the first half, and where would San Mateo be without that stat?
Well, I think where Riverside's at right now, getting a shot on the quarterback isn't going to hurt them that bad when they're on the 15-yard line.
So they'll huddle up, and now we'll have the call.
Helmet contact.
So the helmet contact and an ejection.
Yeah, that was a bad decision. Bad decision making.
Well, if it was Jalen Bowens, I didn't quite catch the number, but it might have been Jalen Bowens. It certainly was Bowens who had the primary contact there with Batari.
Absolutely.
So you would expect that that's where the infraction was. The 15-yard penalty moves it out to the 32-yard line, gives San Mateo a first down, and again, a player ejection here for Riverside late in this first half.
Well, who are they ejecting? 39?
Yeah, it might have been unrelated to the play.
Oh.
Yeah, Zachariah Holyfield is number 39. We only saw the hit on the quarterback. Counter play out to the 36 and a gain of 4 as Page gets the call. Masivi with the stop. 2nd down and 6. .134 and counting remaining in the first half, and it is Holyfield that they're looking at on the sideline. He's out of the game. Quick pass complete. Carter with the reception.
Looked like defense coordinator James Cup from Riverside is just going to kind of do the bend, don't break, keep them in front of you. I think they can keep them up in front, giving those passes in the front.
1st and 10 for San Mateo from the 44. Batari on a designed roll. Flushed from the pocket, Navarro Silva giving chase, and Batari just has to head out of bounds right in front of Jalen Bowens. They're going to give Batari a 1-yard gain, spotted at the 45. 2nd down and 9. Clock stopped for the moment. 1:11 to go here in the first half. Starling, Jackson, and Carter to the far side. San Mateo will overload the defensive left side of Riverside. Blitz coming. Batari got to tuck it and look to run. Run out of bounds, and some contact well out of bounds. He
flowed through the tackle, so he tackled him.
Yeah, Kue Olatoa wrapping up Batari. Short gain on the play.
Batari clearly wanted to go to the wide side of the field, and then Riverside did a great job blitzing that outside linebacker, bringing him up and getting in his face and changing the whole makeup of the play.
3rd down and 7 from the 47 for San Mateo. Blitz coming. Batari hit as he throws, and the pass overthrown and intercepted. 3rd turnover of the first half, forced by the Tigers.
Another big hit on Batari on that one. The Riverside brought six guys, it looked like. They really brought the house on it, and it paid off for him.
It was Dorso with the interception. Well, he had interception number 7 taken off the board earlier in this first half on a penalty. That one's going to stand. This is a great job. Looked like Dorso just kind of playing center field, and the pressure brings the hit on Batari. Overthrown ball, Dorso right there with the pick.
You can tell Riverside gambled a little bit on that one, bringing everybody and getting that pressure, and it paid off that time. And not only did they get the ball back, they got a big hit on the quarterback, Batari.
And pretty good field position to boot as well. Absolutely. 54 seconds remaining here in this first half. And Barledge back to work, all kinds of time. Heaves the near side. Looking for Rolandis Whitener Jr., and there's the flag. Whitener Jr. wanted the call, looked looked like there was some contact, and the flag comes in late. Let's see what the call is. And we'll see if maybe we have a replay of that one as well. And
pass interference, I believe.
Tail end there. And it is against Ryan Cooper Jr. Pass interference, and flags have obviously been a major thorn in the side of Riverside in this first half, but that's a big call against San Mateo.
Absolutely.
Takes it down to the 24-yard line. Now you're really within Ricardo Chavez's range to possibly tack on a field goal. Riverside with all 3 timeouts remaining as well. They keep it on the ground. Tua Tavaki able to bring down Kinslow. Gain of a couple.
I don't think Riverside's worried about the time right now. I think they feel like they have it in control.
Yeah, with 3 timeouts, you really got the whole field to work with. Down to 32 seconds. Barledge looking left, has a man wide open, back to Retzlaff. Retzlaff forced out of bounds, has first down yardage down to the 12.
Retzlaff was sitting there all by himself just waiting for that ball to come. It looks like they might have missed coverage on that on the San Mateo side, but there's no reason he should have been 10 yards down the field with nobody on him.
Barledge going to get the play. Ready to go. Tigers at the line, 1st and 10. Bennett over his left guard, lowers the shoulder. He's down to the 8-yard line, a gain of 4.
Yeah,
and
Theo
Riverside
Bullard
going to take a timeout.
Theo Bullard, number 54. He's caught my eye. Just a tremendously fun kid to watch. He gets off the ball. He's a low to the ground type of kid, and he does a great job getting off that ball.
Well,
fun
the whole Tiger team starting to have some fun here in this first half.
Yeah, we talk about huddling and not huddling. Nobody huddles anymore. I mean, I tell you, I wish I was playing college football nowadays. We used to get in trouble all the time for not running the line of scrimmage. I would always be the guy saying, why can't we just go no huddle? I used to love staying in the line of scrimmage. Running back and forth to the huddle was such a waste of energy. Those D linemen get us sit there and not have to run anywhere, and the O linemen are always running around. So.
I think back when it was the no huddle, obviously it's been around for a while, but I think it maybe started a little bit with the Bills in about 1990 when I think they had kind of to really start to use it as a base offense.
I think Dennis Erickson, and when you start looking at college football, Dennis Erickson way back when, you go way back to Idaho and you start looking at what he did at Miami and things. I think he was one of the ones that did it, and brought it in. But what an innovative idea.
Yeah.
Why do the offensive linemen got to run 10 yards back and forth? We should be able to stand there and just turn around.
Well, and talk about putting the defense on your heels, and you force them to play the same game of having to shift on the fly and make their calls.
Absolutely.
Right away. And indeed, it's all you ever see now. The huddle, a thing of the past. A little antiquated. 2nd down. End around at the 5 and cut down at the 3-yard line is Dylan Laurent. They'll spot it at the 2. And again, Riverside with a couple of timeouts still remaining here in this first half.
One thing I like about Riverside is
they're going to quickly head back to the line. Sorry about that, Tom.
Yep.
Straight ahead, Bennett with a leap, and he didn't get in. He's down to the 1, now down to 6 seconds, and now no question, you got to use a timeout. Interesting call here with a 3rd and goal with 6 seconds to go.
How many timeouts does Riverside have?
I believe they have 1.
One more?
Yeah, I believe they have 1. The scoreboard still has them with 3, but I think they're down to 1. I think that's their second charge timeout, but where do you call here? And, listen, if you're in Riverside, I think you're in an interesting situation here because for much of this season you think, hey, if we line it up and we hand the ball off, we should be able to get 1 yard, but this is San Mateo's defense, less than 10 points per game allowed. That's not a sure thing that you're going to get the 1 yard there if you just drop it down and run it inside.
No, but the things they've been doing inside, with their offensive line, but just watching this game for the half, I'd run right behind them in the 54th year Bullard. That kid's just an impressive kid. They've done a great job on the inside. I don't quite understand that last play where they're trying to leap up over when you have a little guy trying to leap over some big old offensive linemen. I didn't understand that call, but trying to get up in the gaps, widen your splits out a little bit and try to find a crease and sneak him through.
So it's 2nd and goal, but that's really not the relevant number. It's 6 seconds on the clock for Riverside. That is really the critical number here. They come out in a jumbo package. Barlage, quick snap, keeps it himself, and there were whistles before the snap. So this play is not going to count. I believe San Mateo might have called a timeout.
Or did Riverside call it?
Yes. And it is San Mateo that will take their final charge timeout, make sure they're on the same page. And
well, Riverside came out in a jumbo set where they had 2 tight ends, and they loaded that box, and they were definitely going to run straight ahead. But,
you know, obviously, it's not the same thing because the play didn't happen, but had that play gone, I think it's a little bit of a bad break for San Mateo because Barlage didn't get in. If that play had gone down, I think San Mateo might have gotten out of this first half with no more points allowed.
Now, Jeff, you asked me what I would do there. My old offensive coordinator would have been arguing on the headset with me. I would be saying, hey, let's run it behind our big offensive lineman, and then I'd have my offensive coordinator saying, let's run play action to the outside. And I'd probably have my defensive coordinator saying, hey, run the toss to get to the perimeter. So, you know, and somewhere like that, you know, make no mistake, Tom Kraft's making the call here, and Tom Kraft's making the call on what he feels is going to get in his experience. And he's typically pretty good at what he does.
Again, the jumbo package. Barlage under center. Sends a man in motion. They give to the deep back, running right, struggling, bouncing off tackles, and getting in.
Tremendous run, tremendous run. He had 2 guys, broke 2 tackles, got through there.
It was Bowsley earning every bit of that 1 yard and 6 points.
Cameron Bowsley, what a tremendous run there. You see right here, he makes first contact. He breaks that contact. He's that second contact. He sheds him off and gets through there. He was determined to score. He said, hey, I'm going to get in this time.
Yeah, it was a great shot for Bennett Williams right here. Just can't quite wrap him up, and then able to throw off Leyland and get in for the touchdown. Cameron Bowsley, who does not have a carry in the postseason, but has come on here in this second quarter, and he's got a touchdown. And it's 24-7 Riverside as the teams head for the locker rooms. Halftime in the 3C2A championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Here with Coach Tom Kraft. And Coach, tough sledding early on. You were able to make an adjustment. What was it?
Well, I just think we're trying to feel each other out, and we started to settle down a little bit. Turnovers are a big deal, and they've been the difference in the first half so far.
They had some early success with the running game. What was the adjustment that was made defensively to kind of shore that up?
Well, I think we're getting off the line of scrimmage well. We're going to have to play a lot of guys and on the defensive line, and I think we're playing our coverage well in the secondary, and we're still thinking that they're going to be a run-pass team right now.
You expect them to make some adjustments. What matchups do you intend for them to make coming out in the second half?
If I could tell you that, we're just going to play our game. I mean, they're a balanced offense. We've come into this thing fairly balanced, but we're hoping that we can extend our play and our number of plays that we run and kind of wear them out like we did at the second half here.
Coach, appreciate the time.
Yeah.
Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys in the booth.
Halftime from Bakersfield College, the 3C2A championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com, and a 24-7 lead for Riverside City College. 24 unanswered. Jeff Stoynoff back with former head coach, current president, SCFA president,
and athletic director.
Want to get the title correct.
Well, the correct title is the athletic director at the Antelope Valley College. They're the ones that pay my salary.
And that's something that we wanted to talk about because I know that you have a project going on at Antelope Valley College that you're very excited about reaching out to the community.
Yeah, the Community Athletic Project is something we brought in a couple years ago. One of the big things we want to do is try to reach out to the community. In any community college, I've been at a few in my career. The biggest thing is try to connect with the youth of the community. Too often we try to say, okay, we're recruiting high school kids, we're out there, we're visiting high schools, and we got ourselves out in the community, but I think it gets lost with the little kids. So what we try to do at Antelope Valley College is to commit to the youth of the valley, and what we do is we offer free camps and clinics throughout the year. We offer 10 to 11 free camps and clinics, and it gives the kids in the community an opportunity to come onto our stadium, come into our gym, and go on our turf out on baseball. One of the things is we're very fortunate at Antelope Valley College to have tremendous facilities, and to have those kids in the community come out there, get a free T-shirt, have the coaches coach them, have our players coach them. They develop relationships with the student athletes, and it's a free program for them. So we have tremendous sponsors that give us, a good amount of fundraising money to help out with that, and the kids in the community are starting to see that Antelope Valley College is a great option for them. Our big thing is we really need to connect our youth into the fact that the community colleges in their community are great options for them. The California Community College system, having 113 colleges right now, is the biggest college system in the nation, falling under one chancellor's office, and we do a tremendous job, educating the people in California and our youth in California. But I think it's important to get to the kids, and obviously what we know and what we do well is athletics, and that's what we try to focus on. So when you get those kids in there and they get that free T-shirt and they get our student athletes coaching them up, it's a tremendous program, and we're very fortunate to host it.
Yeah, and we have the great pleasure at SoCal College Sports of working with the school in a number of the programs, and it's always such a great privilege for us. And it's a terrific program, and we get to see some of that firsthand on a weekly basis. And also want to mention Perry Jalika, our friend here, as we cover Antelope Valley College football, and
Coach, you started off with a pretty good shot at the run game, and then coming out into the second quarter, they really jumped on you. What are the adjustments here at halftime coming out in the third?
Oh shoot, they've made plays. They've ran harder than we did. They tackled better than we did. And some of the mistakes that we've made, self-inflicted wounds, have hurt us. Now we're still in a 2.5 score game right now. So now that's why it's a 4-quarter game, and we play 2 halves of football. So we'll see where we're at.
Thank you, Coach. Yeah. Good luck in the second half. Back to you in the booth.
And we bring it back. Sorry about that. We were running into that, but we wanted to go down and get a word from Tim Tulloch about looking ahead to the second half, which we will do as well. But we did want to just finish up with Perry Jalika and the great job that he did, Coach of the Year in the Mountain Conference, and finishing up just, again, playing some great football.
Well, I think Coach Jalika would be one that'd be pretty upset if he sees his picture on here, because he knows that there are some tremendous coaches all throughout Southern California. I think one of the neatest thing to be a part of this association, the California Community College Football Association, is some of the great coaches that we have, and that have been around a long time. We're a different nut here in California Community College. Your high schools have the filled up stadiums with their local people, and your major colleges have this. And you can see we don't have a huge crowd today, but we got a good following, and the coaches that have been around a long time. As
we take a look at some of the highlights from the first half, you saw the touchdown run by Bottari that gave College of San Mateo the early 7-0 lead. Riverside bouncing back. Laurent on a long reception. That would lead to a field goal, which would make it 7-3 as Riverside started to inch back into the game, getting their footing later on in the first half into the second quarter. The touchdown pass, Barlage to Retzlaff, that gave them a 17-7 lead for the Tigers, and they would eventually extend that lead after an interception. As we take a look, this is one more look at the Retzlaff touchdown, his 6th touchdown catch of the season. We'll see if we can go back and find later on as eventually the Tigers would take a 24-7 lead. And, well, we're going to give you one more look at the Retzlaff, and it was a great highlight in the first half, and you see the Tiger sideline getting into it. And then late in the first half, after a turnover and interception by Dorso, the great individual effort, Cameron Bowsley bouncing off a couple of tackles, getting in from a yard out on the final play of the first half to give the Tigers a 24-7 lead, which they carry into the half. And, Tom, I look at the first half, and the first thing that I think has to leap out at you is Jacob Barlich. Talked about the stat line, 16 of 20, 178 yards and a touchdown. He has been playing great ball all year long, but he has really carried that in. And against a defense that has been stifling all season long, it's just an incredibly impressive performance.
Well, I would think you're going to look at majority of those stats are in the second quarter. It took them a while to get going, but once they got an idea of what was going on, he really stepped it up.
And we are underway. The Tigers will get the ball first here in the third quarter. A rare kickoff and a flag.
There'll be a block in the back.
On the kick return. 10 penalties for 100 yards for the Tigers. I suppose if there was one thing that maybe Tom Kraft could have talked about in the first half, I'm sure he had plenty to talk about. You know, coaches are never fully satisfied, but the penalties could have been a problem, but the Tigers were able to overcome for the most part en route to this 17-point lead, but 10 penalties for 100 yards in the first half.
You know, as a head coach, when you go inside and you start looking at things like that, you look at aggressive penalties and you look at stupid penalties. You know,
Yep.
Stupid penalties are not watching the ball and jumping off sides. Aggressive penalties like there, you know, running full speed thinking you have the angle and you don't have the angle and you get the block, or even the chop block. They're aggressive penalties, so you got to ask yourself, you know, are they doing it at a full speed aggressive way, or are they just making dumb penalties? I think Riverside's been making fast aggressive penalties.
This will set them back, though. A very poor field position to start here in the third quarter. They keep it on the ground on 1st and 10. Kinslow, circling back to his left, is able to push a couple of tacklers out to the 11-yard line for a gain of 5 yards.
Well, they were in that outside stretch there, and then he gets all the way to the outside and realizes there's a cutback lane 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. So does a good job with vision and getting and planting that foot and getting back across the field.
Kinslow up to 57 yards on the ground in the game. Quick snap to Barlich. Play action, throwing over the middle and completing to Retzlaff for a first down.
I think San Mateo's got to really, you know, step up here on this drive. They really got to do something different and try to slow Riverside down. If Riverside gets in that rhythm, it's going to be tough for San Mateo to stay with it.
I want to correct that. That was actually to his tight end, Anthony Rodriguez. All-conference tight end Anthony Rodriguez in the Southern Conference in the SCFA. His first reception gives the Tigers another first down. First down carry for Kinslow, and he'll fall forward for a gain of about 3. That was Tautua'a in the middle of that defensive line with the stop for San Mateo. Moala Tautua'a. I've been working on my sound here,
yeah,
getting ready for this week.
I'll tell
with
you what, those kids from Samoa, that's tough.
Yeah, a lot of recruiting from outside the area for San Mateo, and what a great season they have had defensively, led by a number of different players. As a good lane and a first down on the ground as Bennett gets the call out to the 35-yard line. Another first down for Riverside. This drive started back at their own 6-yard line early in the third quarter, and Riverside with the 24-7 lead. Bowsley back in the backfield, but Barlich wants to throw. Has a man wide open out to midfield. That is Reggie Retzlaff to the 50-yard line, a 15-yard pickup.
Well, that is something that happened in the first at the end of the second half, at the end of the first half, where that receiver's on that sideline, and he just being left alone. So I don't know if it's a bust in coverage or not.
They keep it on the ground again on first down. Bowsley gets the carry, no gain on the play. Kanangata'a coming off the edge to wrap up Bowsley.
He did a great job staying the man free right there and loading the box and then stopping that run. I think Tom Kraft and the Riverside staff has kind of have a feeling of where they want to go, and they're doing a good job getting the ball down the field.
Second down and 9. Receivers left and right for Barlich. Has the snap, quick play action, dumps it in the flat looking for Laurent, and it's off his hands, incomplete. Rare incompletion out of the hands of Jacob Barlage.
Throwing across the body, trying to get to a receiver taking that to the far sideline. That's a tough throw.
3rd down and 9 coming up for Riverside. Opening drive of the 3rd period. They empty the backfield. Blitz coming. Barlage steps up, throws behind his intended receiver, looking for Giovanni Sanders. And San Mateo will hold on the opening drive. On comes the punting unit for Riverside.
That's what they needed to do there. They stayed with what they were doing. They got pressure when they needed the pressure, and they kept Riverside off their point. They did a good job on that stop.
And now the question will be, can they get something going offensively? Luke Batari, a struggle in the first half, 4 of 13 for 28 yards, no touchdowns and an interception. A fair catch signaled for and made by Jermaine Jackson at the 10. 39-yard punt for Carson Reed. Poor field position to start for San Mateo.
Well, San Mateo has the ability. They've shown all year that they have the ability to put points on the board and they have the ability to score. Putting 41 points up against Modesto Junior College is a tremendous opportunity for showing that they had the ability to score. So they just need to hunker down and do the same type of thing, find their groove, and get some points on the board.
Well, they'll have to go 90 yards or thereabouts to do it right here, as Batari has Page in the backfield and receivers left and right. Jackson in motion. They flip to Jackson, trying to get the edge on the far side. Run out of bounds after a short gain. It was Kobe Fitzgerald.
He didn't get around the corner all the way. Didn't get around the corner. He did some good in making those defensive linemen run laterally and get all the way across the field. You think about that. They're having to move, and if you can tire them down a little bit and run them down a little bit, that's the best thing you can do that front.
Talked about Jackson, 8 yards, nearly 8 yards per rush on the season, and hasn't been able to find much in the way of running lanes here in this first half and a couple of minutes. Give to Page, who slips out of a tackle in the backfield and at least manages to get forward to gain a yard or two. It looked like Zach Barola had a shot in the backfield, but Page does a good job to evade that tackle, but gets maybe just a yard or so to bring up a 3rd down and 7 from the 13. Another 3rd and long for San Mateo. Other than that one drive in the first half, the scoring drive really had a lot of difficulty establishing any kind of running game. They're 4 of 10 on 3rd down in the game. 4-man rush. Batari is flushed from the pocket, now just has to dump it short. He had Page in the area, but a quick 3 and out, and Riverside should come out of this with pretty good field position.
Yeah, he had tremendous pressure up on the inside there, flushed him out. He hasn't had the opportunity to sit back there as much in the beginning of the part of the game. The first quarter, it seemed like he had time and he had the ability to throw, but now Riverside seemed to have found the number of where they need to put pressure at, when they need to put pressure. They've done a great job doing that, taking them out of their game.
You know, it's interesting. I had the feeling in the first quarter as I watched that Riverside was content to rush 3, sit back in coverage, but I think Batari quickly made it clear that that might not be such a great idea, and I think you give the Tigers a lot of credit in that coaching staff. They adjusted and started dialing up more blitzing to try and bring pressure, and San Mateo really hasn't been able to adjust to that.
Well, one of the big things coming in this game is San Mateo did say that Riverside is very versatile. We talked about that at the beginning. And I think Coach Cuck does a great job doing that. You know, he did sit back and he kind of wanted to see what they were going to do. And obviously, if you got a quarterback that's going to hurt you with the run, you better put some pressure on that quarterback and, you know, knock him in the face and try to slow him down a little bit. I think they've done a good job doing that. And I think if you take a kid like that out of a game and you know, that's a huge benefit, huge benefit.
Good kick from Sullivan, who's had a very good game punting for San Mateo here today. That was a 53-yard kick, and it reverses the field somewhat, and Riverside takes over at their own 34-yard line. They send Laurent in motion. They give straight ahead. No gain on the play. Kinslow is met by a horde of tacklers for San Mateo.
Well, we talked about earlier the no huddle offense and where did that come from, and typically the no huddle offense you saw in the 2-minute period, and you're always going fast and you're doing things quick, but it's not that way anymore. As you can see, the Riverside team stands there and watches for the signal and looks for Coach Kraft to tell him what he's going to be doing, and then they do have the ability to change as well.
And what's the benefit of that, of the sort of not quite the full no huddle in terms of pace. All kinds of running for Kinslow, who makes a good move. He is into Bulldog territory at the 48-yard line, a gain of 18 yards.
He pressed the line of scrimmage hard and fast and got through that crease. He saw he had a crease up there in the backside A, and was able to just push through it. Great job.
Back to Kinslow, who has another good lane inside the 40, near first down yardage. Might be about a half a yard shy, but Kinslow starting to pile up the yardage.
Riverside's definitely going with the tempo.
Up over 80 yards in the game. Play action, and Barlage stepping up, but flags come in on the play. They'll blow it dead.
The procedure. Well, you asked the question, what's the benefit? When I was coaching, in all the years that I was calling an offense, it was a benefit to me to see where the defense was. So what I always like to do is put the formation out there and see where the defense is, and then you can find the players that you feel like you're going to attack. When you call a play from a huddle, you're basically saying, hey, this is where we're going to run it, and it's going to go. You don't have the ability to check as much.
Elijah Bennett in motion out of the backfield. Barlage, straight drop, looking left, going deep for Laurent. Laurent makes the twisting catch down at the 15-yard line.
Great catch by Laurent on that one. Once again, you see tremendous protection up front. The Riverside offensive line is just doing a tremendous job keeping the San Mateo D lineman at bay.
Another big catch for Laurent, gets it down to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 for Riverside, looking to extend on the lead. Barlage looking left again, lofts for the corner, and it's broken up. Wanted to go right back to Laurent.
Just a straight go route, fade route. He had him man-to-man on the outside, and he was able to get that pass off. But that could go either way.
Working against Isaiah Downs, and Downs with the good coverage. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Which will take a little time. Down to 9:13 to go in the 3rd. They give it to Kinslow. Inside handoff, and Kinslow down to the 11, a 4-yard run.
Kinslow's doing a great job of getting back to that line of scrimmage and making his play after he gets in the line of scrimmage.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. Riverside was 3 of 7 in the first half on 3rd down. Again, they empty the backfield. Barlage has the snap. Blitz coming, short throw over the middle.
Looks like a 1st down.
Down to the 4-yard line, going to be enough to move the chains as it's Sanders.
He just ran an inside sit route there. The inside receiver's just taking off and trying to find the open area in the middle of the field and just caught the ball, sit down. Now, we called a sit route. Now, I wouldn't want my receiver literally sitting down like he just did.
Right.
But, he got the first, and that's what's important.
Yeah, that throw at first
Absolutely.
glance seems like it's low, but that's also
absolutely.
anticipating that there might be tight coverage. You're throwing it where only the receiver's going to have a shot at it.
Sure.
I formation backfield, 1st and goal from the 4. They give to the deep back, straight up the middle. And Bowsley going to be stood up, gained perhaps a yard on the play. Second down and goal from the 3.
They're going with their power formation still. They're going their high back formation. Looks like ducking up. Looks like they're putting the receiver out now.
Yeah, going to keep Bowsley in the game in an offset I formation on 2nd and goal.
That fade up top.
Laurent in motion. And whistles come in. So the call is going to go against San Mateo.
We're going to talk about this one a little bit. It looks like the field judge from the other side is running in. Absolutely.
All right, so the wave off the penalty as San Mateo takes a timeout. Riverside on the doorstep looking to extend on a 24-7 lead. You're watching the 3C2A championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. For Riverside. And they'll direct snap straight ahead.
Went a little wildcat formation there. We haven't seen that the whole game.
As they take Barlage out, it was Tyler Thomas who has come on of late, backing up Barlage. He has done a great job running the football. Didn't even play until about 4 weeks ago, starting in the Orange Coast game. That was the 11th game of the season for them. But in that 4-game stretch, Thomas has gone for 90-plus yards rushing on 2 occasions. And he'll get the call here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Thomas again in the shotgun. He's got receivers left and right. Now they send a man in motion. They fake, throw toward the back. It's going to be picked off.
Great job by the linebacker in that situation, just watching and being patient and pulling back.
Let's watch the replay as they fake the handoff and now going to start to try and throw ahead. And it's Trey Smith.
What a great play. That was key for San Mateo, crucial for San Mateo to get that stop at the goal line there.
Each team with a couple of turnovers in the game now as Smith comes up with a massive interception. Call that a game saver for right now if you're San Mateo. Meanwhile, there is a flag on the play at the conclusion of the play that goes against Riverside. So San Mateo is going to come out of this with better field position as Thomas tried to step back and make the throw. He was looking for Rodriguez, who appeared to flash open for a moment.
Well, you know, you teach your quarterback on that. Whatever you do to get that ball over the defense, it's a flip. You want to flip it up over the top of him, kind of like a basketball shot. But there, he put it on the line, and that's the worst thing you can do.
But I think that you nailed it when you talked about it, Tom, that it's just a great read by Trey Smith, who's just making an adjustment as Jackson gets the call on the handoff. Nothing doing, gained maybe a yard before he is brought down by Hansen.
Well, they're running that fly sweep there with the wing coming in up through, trying to get to the outside. It's just Riverside's too solid inside to give that up.
Hansen an all-conference selection as well for Riverside. Snap to Batari, 4-man rush. Looking deep, wants Starling, and the pass is broken up. Estes with the coverage.
That was great defensive play.
More look at this one, and yeah, no separation for Starling working against. Like that might have been Dorso actually getting a hand in there. He couldn't tell on the replay. Thought Estes had the coverage initially.
Well, Estes had the coverage, and he did a great job staying on his hip and getting his hand on that ball.
3rd down and 9. And San Mateo looks down the barrel in another 3rd and long. Tigers come on the blitz. Batari going to tuck it and run, looking for Elaine. He's out past the 40 near the 1st down marker, but it looks like he is about a foot short. And can you possibly think here with under 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter from this position in the field what a risky call it would be if they're about a half a yard shy for Tim Tulloch to think about going for it here on 4th and a foot.
I don't think he's thinking. He is. He's got his offense on the field, and there's no question on his decision. But
they're 38% on 4th down this season is San Mateo. It'll be Batari from the shotgun on 4th and a foot. Has the snap, running right, looking for a lane, hit but falls forward for a gain of a yard. Tough running for Batari. Fitzgerald there first for the stop, but the Bulldogs move the chains.
Great job for San Mateo there. Batari did a good job. When you're on the sideline, you got to make a call. You put the ball in your best player's hands and let him make that play. Great players make great plays, and great players make great plays to extend plays. So,
what a gutsy call for Tim Dullick and hard running for Batari.
Absolutely.
1st and 10 from the 46. Jackson in motion. Batari with time, swings it out to Jackson, picks up a block, trying to cut it back to the inside, weaves his way forward, still on his feet, as it looked like he was going down, kind of slid forward, kept his footing. He's down to the 40 of Riverside. Good enough for a first down.
Jackson came all across. He was outside in the slot position, coming across in the fly motion. And
there you go. It's Navarro Silva who thinks he's got him down, but kind of just slides off of Navarro Silva, keeps a couple feet on the ground, and starts forward and picks up a few more yards.
Yeah, watching him when he gets the ball, you can tell he doesn't want to go down. He's doing everything he can to get positive yards.
Yeah, for Jackson, that's a nice highlight today. Haven't really been able to get him into the offense too much. You see, that's just great effort by Jermaine Jackson to stay up.
Well, great effort by the DB for Riverside, or the safety coming in and continuing on the plays. Too often than not, you see defensive stop at that. But
yeah, they think that the player's going to be down,
and
then
the
plays over.
Sneak out. A great job by Riverside defense.
So San Mateo trying to get something going. Under 5 minutes to go in the third. They trail it 24-7. This is a nice response here in this third quarter, getting that interception for a team that has not spent much time, if any time, this year trailing.
Correct.
At all. To try and do everything they can to get the momentum back. Quick pitch to Jackson, trying to turn the corner. He is down to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 5.
Well, like I said earlier, it's just San Mateo just needs to stay in their game plan and just continue what they're doing. The game is by nowhere out of reach. It's definitely reachable for them. So if they continue to do what they do, they'll find their groove and they can bring it back.
So a 2nd down and 5 from the 35. As they'll move Jackson over to the near side now. Jackson's getting a workout between plays. Now he's back in motion. Page running right. He's able to fall forward to the 37, a gain of 3, and a 3rd down and 2 upcoming for College of San Mateo. Well, if it was 4-down territory at your own 45, you got to believe it's 4-down territory here at the Riverside 37.
That's correct. They got 2 plays.
Correct. That's the
yards.
32-yard line with a 3rd and 2. Good hard count. Batari throwing right, looking for
And
Carter.
it's a catch.
Carter with a great catch. Down to the 1.
Tremendous catch. Went with a little hard count there. Luke went with a little hard count, got the defensive tackle to jump, center snap the ball.
And that's actually Trey Hines on the reception. What a great job working against Kylan Ross one-on-one and able to ward off a little contact and make the leaping catch. Hines all the way down to the 1. And now San Mateo on the doorstep. Batari on the keeper, running right, trying to fall forward down to the goal line. He's about a foot short.
I would do the exact same thing. Keep calling that kid's number at this where they are in the field.
Yeah, I'll tell you, for a quarterback, you got to like the way that Batari runs hard.
Absolutely. He's doing a great job getting upfield.
He had the rushing touchdown back in the first quarter. The lone touchdown today for San Mateo. 2nd and goal from the 1-foot line. Page in the backfield with Batari. Batari gives to Page. Page tries to leap, but he is swallowed up short of the goal line. Give you another look here. A great job on the interior of that defensive line.
Well, you see the nose guard on that one, just driving the center in the backfield. Whenever you have that kind of push on the offensive line, you're not going to get going.
That was Karo Kashkarian, who was able to make the big stop, and it's 3rd and goal from the 1. Batari on the keeper, he got in.
Let Luke take it in. Great job by Luke, seeing where it is and getting in that gap and scoring.
Yeah, Batari, just a little cutback, gets in, and College of San Mateo hold everything, getting back into this one with an extra point pending. We might be talking about a 10-point game, 2:13 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, we said it was vital down there that San Mateo got that stop, and then it's also vital for them to turn around and get points on the board.
How big
turning it over
is the interception by Trey Smith at the goal line? Extra point from Magadan is up and good. The score now 24-14 as San Mateo goes 70 yards after the Smith interception, and they cap it off with the Batari 1-yard touchdown run. 2:13 to go in the 3rd. Brand new ball game, 24-14. The 3C2A championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com. For Riverside, and it's going to be Rolandis Whitener from the goal line. Out to the 15. He's not even going to get there. Swallowed up at the 14-yard line. The Bulldogs are energized. Getting back into this one, back within 10, and it's Riverside who will have to start deep in their own territory.
Well, great job by the kicker getting that ball pinned down to the 5 and then letting his coverage get down there. You see after the kicker looked to the Riverside sidelines, pretty happy with himself. Rarely do you see kickers try to bow up like that. I give him credit. He's excited.
Well, here comes Barledge with Bowsley in the backfield. And receivers left and right, 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. It's Bowsley who gets the call straight ahead. And a gain of perhaps a couple. Is the football allowed? San Mateo is saying they have it. Haven't gotten an official signal yet as we take a look at the replay, but the Bulldogs are heading to the sideline. They believe they have the football. Bowsley on the carry. We're going to get a great look from behind.
It looks like that ball came out. Sure looks like
and the Bulldogs have it.
How quick a game can turn.
I believe it was Akil Leyland who came up with the football. As Riverside coughs it up, 2nd turnover of this 3rd quarter, and it's going to go a long way toward potentially getting the Bulldogs back into this game.
Great teams make great plays.
They have it now at the 17-yard line of Riverside in a golden opportunity. Batari gives to Page. Page hit by Fitzgerald, falls forward to the 14-yard line for a gain of 3.
Clearly the momentum has switched into San Mateo. They're energized. You can see the pep in their step and what they're doing. They definitely feel like right now there's nothing that can stop them.
I'll tell you, don't underestimate the importance of the huge play by Trey Hines. That was just a great catch that got him down to the doorstep. They have not had many big plays offensively at all today, and Hines delivered a big one to get him right to the doorstep. 2nd down and goal from the 8. It's Hines and Jackson to the right. Mason Starling solo to the left. Batari whistles. Play blown dead. And a false start penalty against San Mateo. So the 5-yard penalty will back it up to the 19-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 13.
I think what I'm questioning is why did Riverside make that change in quarterback on the goal line? That was a big change.
Certainly, as it turned out, too.
Absolutely.
A hugely important play in this game. Page with the handoff tries to pick his way forward and manages to fall forward to the 16-yard line for a gain of 4. But it's a 3rd down and 9 coming up. Navarro Silva with the stop for Riverside. Under a minute to go in the 3rd, down to 38 seconds and counting. Batari has the snap. Blitz coming, good protection. Batari still looking. Gonna tuck it and run. He's at the 15, down to the 10, runs out of bounds just shy of the 5-yard line. Very near the 1st down. It looks preliminarily like he got it.
Yeah, you got a holding penalty on the offense there.
So the flag's gonna bring it back.
Typically when you see plays extended like that and quarterbacks going around the offensive line and past their first line of protection, now they're doing different things. And
yeah, we'll have a look here, see if maybe we can catch it on the replay. And there's a little bit of a tug maybe.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
As it was Navarro Silva coming off the edge, and that might have been where the call was. Either way, it is a holding call. Tigers will take the penalty, and now it's 3rd and 19 from the 25-yard line. Now we're talking about a 42-yard field goal. This is right at the edge of Dylan Maghadam's range.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, down to 3 seconds, down to 2. Final play of the 3rd quarter. Blitz coming. Batari is swallowed up. Back at the 39-yard line.
That's a great call by defense coordinator Coach Cook. He did a tremendous job bringing pressure where he needed to bring pressure. Obviously, look, they're bringing 6, 7 guys, 8 guys. My gosh, they're bringing 7, 8 guys on that.
Kue Olatoa.
Amazing call there.
So Olatoa's sack will end the 3rd quarter and end the scoring threat for San Mateo, as they will face a 4th and very long when we return for the 4th quarter. 24-14 through 3. It's the 3C2A Football Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Kue Olatoa had a half a sack on the season coming into action today. Well, he just upped his total, and maybe no sack by anyone bigger than that one right there, as it knocks him back to the 34. San Mateo will bring out Dylan Maghadam for a 51-yard field goal attempt. Here's the snap. Placement down. Kick is up. And not long enough.
Was 1 yard short. 1 yard short.
It was online.
Sure was.
I want to correct this. It's an interesting adjustment, but I believe that is Connor Sullivan taking that field goal attempt. Maghadam is 39. That was 89. I believe that is Connor Sullivan.
You can tell Riverside was thinking something hinky was going on there. They didn't rush like they typically do, and it looks like they were sitting back thinking that they might try to run a fake on him. So he had every opportunity to get that ball off and kick it.
Yeah, he made it from about 48.
That's it,
I would say, unfortunately, it was a 51-yard attempt.
Oh, my gosh.
And the Tigers able to escape and maintain this 10-point lead. What a great stand in the red zone. Get a little help from a penalty, but then the huge sack by Kue Olatoa to end the threat.
Well, when you're looking at third and that long, it's going to take a long time for your receivers to get out there and get set in their routes. And I think Coach Cook for Riverside realized that and says, hey, we're just going to bring the house and we're going to put pressure on them and we'll trust our DBs to make those plays. And obviously, when you've got guys running free and guys with that kind of speed, you're going to put pressure on that kid.
Yeah, and there you get it. The breakdown on the left side of that offensive line, and it was 3 Tiger players that really got through, and it was Olatoa who got there first, and a great job wrapping up Batari, who can be shifty.
Yeah,
and it's a great play to finish that play and get the tackle. And what a massive sack for Kue Olatoa. One of the big plays here the second half of this ball game as it stands right now.
There's one thing about being shifty, but when you got 3 dudes running at you,
right?
Not too much shift you can put into shifty.
Man, as you look at this one, there's nowhere Batari's going on that play.
Exactly.
No one's getting out of that one.
Not at all.
Barledge returns with Kinslow in the backfield, a 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line for Riverside. Kinslow on the call. Ahead for perhaps a yard.
I think one of the things that's the unsung battle of the game is the battle up front between the offensive line and defensive lines. They've been doing a tremendous job just locking horns and playing and pushing each other around.
Noah Lavulu on the stop on the Kinslow carry. 2nd and 9 coming up. Into the 4th quarter, and obviously Riverside at this point more cognizant of the clock. Certainly not going to be in any hurry as Barledge directs traffic. Play action to Kinslow. Barledge going deep, looking for Laurent. The coverage was very good. Working against Smith.
Sanders tried to get that separation, trying to get upfield, and he had it. But
we do have a flag down. Well, at least that was a preliminary indication. I don't see the flag on the field.
I don't either.
Huh? That's
They did call that.
What's interesting is, the call goes against Smith, and she watched that replay. It was Sanders, the intended receiver, and Sanders actually had an arm on Smith's jersey as well. But I didn't see that flag come out. It might have been earlier in the play as well, before the tail end there. But either way, the call goes against San Mateo. An important call, gives Riverside a 1st down at midfield. So Barledge with a fresh set of downs. Play action. Guns over the middle. Leaping attempt by Leith.
It was a good throw, right on the money. It just looked like he got the defender getting his hand on that ball. Great.
There's Downs on the coverage again.
Great play by Downs, getting his hand on that ball and getting it pushed out.
So 2nd down and 10. And they'll empty the backfield. Good protection again for Barledge.
There he is.
Finds Kinslow wide open in the flat. Kinslow with the 1st down and more. Down to the 33-yard line of San Mateo. A gain of 17 yards on the play. As no one, it appears, picks up Kinslow.
That's something they've been doing all the game, and I believe what's happened is they're running him across the line of scrimmage and sitting him out there on the sideline, and he gets lost in the shuffle by the defense. It's a great job, and some key downs they've been able to use that and get the ball downfield.
1st and 10. Kinslow running left. Ahoya sliding down to make the stop. A little help from Tuatavaki. A gain of a couple, and a 2nd and 8 coming up.
I think what now Riverside needs to do is just kind of find their way and be methodical in what they do and use some of that clock. But I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Barledge with a straight drop, looking for Laurent down the near side, who's got it inside the 5.
Great throw and catch. Great throw and catch. As a coach, we always say it's simple. Throw the ball, catch the ball. Throw the ball, catch the ball. That was
well, Laurent is approaching 100 yards for sure. possibly over it. We've lost our live stats for the moment, but another great catch. He's had 3 significant catches today.
Absolutely. Great.
And that was a great grab down to the 3-yard line, and the Tigers with a chance to get the touchdown they gave up back and push this lead back out to 17. They give to Kinslow. Kinslow lowers the shoulder, gets to the 1. 2nd down and goal.
Just impressed with the poise of Bartlett, the way he's been able to manage these types of things going on and the mistakes that have happened. He stays in there, he makes those good throws, and he's doing a great job managing the game well.
Kinslow gets the call once again, but he's brought down at the 1, and it's 3rd down and goal. And if you're San Mateo, if you can even hold this to a field goal, you keep it at 2 scores. At least put yourself in a position where a couple of touchdowns put you back out in front. So this becomes a very important series of downs. If you're Riverside, you push it back out to 17. Now you're talking about 3 scores.
Well, San Mateo's had their backs against the wall at a few occasions, and they've come out on top. So I don't care if it's on the half-yard line, 1-yard line.
Right.
San Mateo has proven they can make a stop any way they can.
And this time it's Bartlett staying in the game for Riverside. They'll go back with Bowsley in the deep eye. Bartlett on the sneak, trying to push the pile. 2nd effort, but he's not there. About a half a yard shy and decision time for Tom Kraft, or is this really a decision on a 4th and goal from the half-yard line?
That is a tough decision. You got a chance to go up by 2 scores, or you can get a chance to kind of put it away. But you see the offensive linemen watch it. Look at them. They're sitting up there telling them they want to do it. They want to run the ball. And
you think back to the end of that first half and the sensational effort it took for Bowsley individually to get in from the 1. This is a very dangerous call here right now for Tom Kraft, but he is going to go for it. Keeping the offense out there. Bartlett under center, Bowsley in the deep eye. They send Rodriguez in motion. Bowsley gets the handoff. He is hit behind the line, but there is a flag down.
Illegal procedure. Fullback, and when the motion started, fullback fell forward. Now
interesting.
That's a different call.
Were they trying to blow that play dead? Because they ran the play.
Well, I didn't see what happened there. What did they call illegal formation? They declined it?
I think this went against Riverside, and they were able to decline the penalty. But, it appeared they did not blow that play dead. So San Mateo able to take the result of the play. What a great stand. Well,
you said it. San Mateo's had their backs against the wall. You don't become the #1 defense in the state.
You could be impressed with a lot of things they do defensively, but you got to be very impressed with the goal line defense here today. A goal line stand there, and the interception earlier right at the doorstep. Riverside with a couple of opportunities, but it's still a 10-point game. Batari with play action with time, throws deep over the middle, and it's incomplete. Going back to Trey Hines. Hines working against Estes, and this was one of the rare times, Tom, where we saw good protection up front. Batari with some time to throw the football.
Well, I think
but Estes with great coverage as well.
I think he had a great time because nobody thought he was going to be throwing the ball. And then, you got your back against the wall. 9 times out of 10, you're trying to punch it out and trying to get yourself a little breathing room. But they said, no, we're going to try to get down the field.
Second and 10. They keep it on the ground with Page, and he is hit at the line. Was he hit behind the line?
Forward progress could put him on the 1-yard line.
Okay, yeah.
You can see
Page just gets out of the end zone as Navarro Silva was there, forced him back toward the middle. Or I believe it was Barola. Finished it off, and it's a generous spot to even get forward momentum out to the 2-yard line, where it's a 3rd down and 10 and a precarious position for College of San Mateo, who desperately needs a big play, trailing by 10 and working from the shadow of their own goalpost. Another blitz coming. Batari in some trouble, scrambling in his own end zone. Now throws on the run on the near sideline, looking for Hines, and Hines makes the catch.
Batari here extends the play. He's able to get out of there, steps up and starts to get outside.
Look at the throw to Hines as well. You can't drop it in there a whole lot better than that. Second catch for Trey Hines today.
He did it the hard way, but he did it.
And out to the 20-yard line and a fresh set of downs. Batari on a designed roll. Leaping catch for Jackson, who absorbs a big hit out at the 38-yard line, but it's good enough for another first down.
Well, Luke's definitely showing why he had such a successful year with his team. He's holding himself together, great composure, doing a great job making plays.
Back-to-back completions, another first down. Batari, the coverage is good, starting to scramble. He's going to be hit behind the line.
That was just three-man rush, but they had a twist on the inside. Two defensive linemen coming to the inside. Boy, that tackle from the opposite side, he went all the way around to the outside, coming all the way around. Great pressure with three-man rush, though.
So a 5-yard loss makes it second down and 15. Under 9 minutes, 8:41 and counting remaining in the fourth quarter. Another blitz. Batari starting to scramble. Under pressure again. Now shovels it forward and completes.
He's been watching Patrick Mahomes on Sunday make those plays all the time.
Yeah, Page with the reception. What a heady play here.
Yeah.
See the pressure from Olatoa and Barola combining, but they can't quite get there. And meanwhile, Page makes the reception and gets congratulations from his teammates on the sidelines. That's a big pickup of 6 yards, because it could have been a loss of about 5 or 6 yards the other direction. Now it's a 3rd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Open in the flat, the catch is made, going to Lloyd, but Lloyd had to stretch out to come up with that football. Can't advance it after making the catch. Good hands and a gain of about 3 yards.
If he could have kept his feet there, he would have had an extra 5 yards easily, would have got the first down.
Yeah, he had Jalen Bowens in the area, but he had some room, and with a 4th and 6, San Mateo going to go for it. Good protection. Batari over the middle, leaping catch. Hines can't come down with it. Trey Hines got himself open, but couldn't make the leaping catch.
Another great play by Estes on that, getting his hand, swiping that ball away, right on his hip, making a tremendous play for that stop. Big stop, big stop.
7:25 to go in the game. Riverside back on offense at the San Mateo 42-yard line. They lead it 24-14. I thought Hines might come down with that football. He got his mitts on it, but couldn't quite bring it in. Kinslow cuts it to the right, and he is swallowed up after a gain of a yard.
This is a tremendous play by San Mateo defensive line. Just stopping guys in their tracks and keeping that line of scrimmage where it is. They're not allowing that line of scrimmage to be moved. They're just doing a great job.
Yeah, it's Tautua'a was able to bring down Kinslow, and it has not been a very fun day to be a running back against these two teams. There's not a lot of running lanes out there.
Not so much.
Kinslow's done nice work, though, approaching 100 yards in the game. Second down and 9, and if you're San Mateo, you badly need the quick 3 and out. Kinslow straight ahead. Tua Tavaki wraps him up after a gain of about 3. Down to the 38-yard line, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 6.
I just still am impressed with the offensive line as well from Riverside, the way they're able to combo that. You see the left guard there, he does a great job comboing off that tackle and getting up to the linebacker.
Keep an eye on Dylan Laurent. If he's out there, they do like to shift in quite a few players. Riverside, they go deep on the depth chart. But Dylan Laurent has been the primary option through the air, the primary weapon through the air for Riverside here today, and a timeout taken.
Yeah, I was saying, where's the play clock on this? I can't even see the clock.
5:57 to go. We'll step aside. It's the 3C2A Championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Third down and 6. The football resting on the Bulldog 38-yard line. Riverside trying to slam the door shut on a 3C2A championship. They lead at 24-14. Barledge working from the shotgun. And we're going to have a delay of game. This will go against Riverside.
Delay of game coming out of a timeout like that. I understand that.
That is one of the age-old questions in the game of football. No, a question with no answer.
That's a question that you yell at the assistant coach when you're the head coach saying, how come somebody didn't tell us we're running out of time?
A question as old as football itself. 3rd and 11 now from the 43. Barledge ready. Blitz coming from San Mateo. Good protection. And Barledge heaves the near side. The pass incomplete. He and Retzlaff weren't on the same page.
Definitely not on the same page. Could have been an option route. The receiver saw something different than the quarterback did. But he was getting some pressure. He had to get rid of that ball, that's for sure.
And the only one with a chance there is Ryan Cooper Jr.
And I think what Riverside's gotten their advantage is the clock and trying to get that work down as fast as they can.
So that'll bring on Carson Reed and the punting unit. San Mateo able to come up with another stop. But now they need points as Jackson will make the fair catch at the 14. It'll be another long field for San Mateo.
Well, last time they had a long field in the first half, they were able to get some points out of it. So let's see if they can do it again.
Batari out with Page in the backfield. Has the snap. 3-man rush. Batari with time, looking deep for Hines, and it's incomplete, and here comes a flag.
It looked like Estes in that time. He ended up climbing up over the receiver.
Going to get a good look on the replay, as it was Estes against Hines, and Hines again with pretty good inside position, and I got to tell you, I've seen more contact than that today.
Yeah, Estes started pulling his jersey down and climbed up over the top of him. So,
meanwhile, San Mateo, acting in disbelief. Darryl Page can't believe it, and as much as I didn't see what Estes might have done, let's see if we could see what Hines might have done.
I can't see that. I have no idea what that is. Unless it was on another receiver.
Right?
It
I don't.
could have been on him. There's no way that could have been on him.
So the penalty moves it half the distance back to the 7-yard line. It'll be 1st and 17, and the long field just got a little longer. Batari has time, still looking. Just needs to tuck it and run. He is hit hard and brought down at the line of scrimmage.
He's got his eyes downfield. He's definitely looking for a target. He's been able to make those plays, and it just collapsed on him.
Edward Calhoun Jr.
Yeah.
with the big hit on Batari, who has really taken a beating today against this Tiger defense that has been very physical.
Riverside's not sitting back. They're running a lot of twists up front, a lot of stunts. They're trying to get movement. They're doing everything they can to try to get to the.
Second down and 17. Batari has the snap. In trouble in the end zone. Now just has to try and throw it away, and it's picked off.
Horrible.
Estes with the interception and the touchdown.
In an effort to not give up 2 points, he gave up 6 points. Sometimes you gotta live to fight another day. Not do that.
It was Lionel Masibi coming on the corner blitz, and he got there and got the legs wrapped up. And Tom, you're exactly right. I think trying to make a play there, and you're Luke Batari. You don't want to give up the safety if you can, and he overshoots his target, and Estes right there with one of the easiest pick sixes he'll ever have.
We all came into the game talking about Tom Kraft and the great job that he does on offense and the things that he's able to do. But I'll be quite honest, I'm impressed with the Riverside defense. Coach Cuck doing everything he can to disrupt things, and San Mateo knew coming in they were going to do that. That's a tremendous job getting you're getting movement on the defensive front. You're getting your corners coming in blitzing. You got your outside linebackers coming in blitzing. And I'll tell you what, for an offensive line, that's a very difficult thing to have to defend. And a quarterback making a play like that in the end zone, I think he was trying to make something happen, not give up 2 points, and it's unfortunate.
The Riverside fans who have made the trip, well, you can really sense it now. Under 5 minutes to go, out in front by 17. Talked about the defensive touchdowns for San Mateo. That's the 5th defensive touchdown this season for Riverside. They've been a big play defense as well all season long. It was Ray Estes, and perhaps fitting if it would be the defense today that would put the final exclamation point on it. They have been outstanding.
Well, and it's funny when you have those kind of transitions and you have those picks for points. Some people look at the defensive backs and think how great they are, but they don't realize it all happens up front. Happens by your linebackers, your D linemen making the disruptions in the quarterback.
The kick return out to the 28-yard line for Jermaine Jackson as the Tigers went for the squib. Both teams came in undefeated on the season at 12-0.
I think the big thing is when you look at California Community College football, you have 31 teams in the north, you have 37 teams in the south, and the big thing is you want to get your best teams in this game. You always want to make sure your best teams are in the game. And I think this year there's no doubt 2 of the best teams in the state.
Well, we talked about it at the top. This is a 1 and 2 all season long, really, these two teams. And it's great for fans that it ends up getting settled on the field, and it's not that somebody didn't get bumped off by one of the other very good teams in the postseason, but these teams able to make their way through, earn their spot here. Jackson with the catch in Riverside territory. There was an unsportsmanlike call against Riverside on the return. That moved the football up, and now the catch by Jackson moves it to the Riverside 44. After the game, we will have interviews from down on the field. Mike Cepeda will talk with coaches and players down there as well, so definitely stick around for that. We will also have coverage of the award presentation as well. Batari with time, still looking downfield. The coverage is good, and he just has to throw it away.
Well, unfortunately, his receivers are scrambling to the right. He was scrambling to the left.
Right.
Typically you have scramble rules for your receivers. When everything breaks down, everybody goes to their scramble spot, and he was obviously going the other direction, so that's got to be frustrating for him, scrambling out, not seeing one blue jersey in the area he's trying to get to. I think the frustration you can just see in his body language is set in for Luke after a tremendous season. Having that just happen to him, it's just a sad deal, but there's always got to be a winner, always got to be a loser.
Yeah, both quarterbacks are freshmen this season. All the more impressive for these teams that have had so much success. That one nearly picked off It was Kylan Ross who was anticipating this throw all the way, and I think that Batari is a little bit lucky there that his throw is a little bit off the mark.
Absolutely.
And it's a 3rd down and 10. Batari, such a great season, over 2,000 yards passing with 18 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions coming into the game today, and Barlage, a freshman as well. And what a great job. This is the first matchup in the championship game between 2 undefeated teams since 2013.
Yep. And they show it, that's for sure. And they showed it in the playoffs, and they showed it competing against great programs.
Batari, that one nearly picked off as Estes jumped the route looking for Connell Ryans.
Well, I think Estes would love to have that one back. That's why Estes is playing on the defensive side of the ball right there, because it was a perfect shot, and you could tell his hands crossed, and he didn't come down with the ball. Those DBs, they're some great athletes, boy, I'll tell you what. But when it comes down to catching the ball.
Right, well, what's the old adage? That's why they play defense.
That's why they're playing defense. Yeah. You know, Batari coming out of Sarah High School, I remember another great quarterback coming out of Sarah High School, Tommy Brady. Boy, I'll tell you, Sarah High School puts out some great athletes.
4th down, and they'll go for it. Batari in trouble. He is going to be sacked back at his own 48-yard line. It was Savea Vilo Logaleo who ends up wrapping up Batari for the sack. And we mentioned the sack numbers, only 1 sack allowed on Batari over the last 6 games, but Riverside has been able to bring the pressure. They have gotten there with the blitz when they've dialed it up, and that has been so key as they turn away San Mateo. And now with 4 minutes exactly remaining in the game, Riverside can start to just run it out here. They are closing in on what would be their first football championship in the 3C2A in school history. And that's saying something for a program that all the way going back to 1989 had an undefeated season. This isn't just a program that's recently come on the scene to have success.
Well, Riverside definitely made a huge commitment when they decided to hire Coach Kraft, and Riverside made a commitment when they said they're going to have their head football coach on a contract. One of the things about Tom Kraft's contract is he doesn't teach. You know, 95% of all of your head coaches in California Community College football are teachers and they're faculty members, and Tom Kraft isn't. Tom Kraft is a full-time contracted football coach. Now, that is the job in the state, in my opinion. We have a few teams like that, Long Beach, Chaffee, things of that nature, but Tom said it himself to me this summer. He said he's always said that these are the best jobs if you can do it without teaching them.
And there's it's worth noting for those that might not know the full background of the story that they didn't come upon that name just by accident. Tom Kraft talked about being at San Diego State, but also the 100 wins at Palomar. So right here in the 3C2A has had tremendous success, now over 100 wins with Riverside, the first coach to ever do that with 2 different schools here in the 3C2A.
Well, Coach Kraft is definitely a legend in what he's done in California Community College football. I've admired him my entire career. A lot of the things that I did as a head coach, I watched what he did and what he was able to accomplish. And he's had a huge impact on many coaches up and down the state. And it shows in what he's able to do. And I'll tell you this, Jeff, it also runs in his family. His daughter's the head softball coach at Palomar College, and she's in the state playoffs every year. So that winning tradition follows suit with the family. I'll tell you what.
We have the pleasure of doing the 3C2A championship event, so we're at softball, and I knew that name sounded familiar.
That's right.
his
daughter's an
year
amazing
after year.
coach, and the reason I say she's an amazing coach because she beats us in the playoffs every year. The last 2 years, our softball program has lost to Palomar, and I get a chance to see Coach Kraft down at those games and visit a little bit. But it's just impressive, you know. Everything he's been able to accomplish and do has just been so fun to watch in the South.
And down to 2:14 remaining as it's 4th down, timeout taken on the field. We'll step away, rejoin you. It's the 3C2A championship here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. Carson Reed on to punt it away for Riverside with 2:14 to go in the ball game. Riverside City College so many times on the doorstep. SCFA championship against Fullerton on a couple of occasions in the last few years. Stopped short last year. Had the SCFA championship at home. Upset by Ventura College, who would go on to play Laney in the championship game a year ago. And finally here and making the most of it. And the Tigers now just a couple of minutes away from being able to celebrate the 3C2A championship.
I think the best thing about watching a game like this is you're seeing two great programs with great culture. You know, San Mateo and what they bring in with all their coaches and the amount of people that have been there, they've got such a great, you know, program. And it starts from top to the bottom. When you have an administrative staff that values what they do on the field, they bring in the right kind of people. I mean, look at San Mateo has like 15 guys on staff. That's amazing. I mean, there's probably 3 to 4 schools up north and down south that have 15 coaches together in 3 programs. And same with Riverside. They're committed to doing what they do, and I think it's a benefit. And when you get a game like this and you can see that, it's great for the people and great for the players and the coaches and everybody involved.
And for San Mateo, the top team in North all season long. And you talk about the top 2 teams in the 3C2A here in 2019, you're talking about the top 2 teams in JUCO football in the country.
I would say so. You know, the NJCAA, you know, they boast that they have the national championship and they put that online, they put that on TV, but haven't had the opportunity to watch some of their games, their championship games. I don't think that they can compete at the level that we compete at. Now, you can argue that and you can say that, you know, Mississippi and all these different teams out there, I just don't think they can. It's a different brand of football. It's a different style of football. As you can see by the TV show they've had out there, Last Chance U, it's a different style of player. It's a different type of person. And even the coaching staffs, you know, are different. So I just think that what we have here in California is so disciplined. It's good. It's great football. Like I said, sometimes it's overlooked. And it's overlooked by high school. It's overlooked by major college. But some of the great football you see, and some of the great football minds are at this level and have committed to staying at this level.
And you talk about not just the teams at the top like we get to see today, but the depth of talent really from top to bottom. And that is something that over the last several years, as I've covered these events, I've really seen is it seems like it's getting more and more crowded at the top and more teams really vying at the championship level here in the 3C2A than you saw a couple of years ago.
Well, you like to see that. You like to see that diversity. You know, you can look 10 years ago at Mount Sac and City College of San Francisco when George Rush had his program running. It was always the top teams. You know, last year I think was amazing to see Laney and Ventura in it, to see a school like Laney come up through and to win the state championship, and to see it. I think we're starting to see some more parity. I mean, obviously with San Mateo and Riverside running through their conferences this year, you didn't see it with them. But I think your top schools are starting to change a little bit. College of the Canyon's stepping back up. Ted Iatsinda's doing a great job up there and bringing that program back to where they are.
Absolutely, an SCFA championship appearance this year.
Absolutely. Mark McElroy over there, Saddleback, in my opinion, I thought he had his chance this year, one of the tremendous coaches of the South. So you're seeing that movement now.
Pass complete to Hines, out to the 13-yard line. A gain of 6. 3rd down and 4 coming up.
Well, now you're starting to see them subbing, and you see different players coming in, some Saddleback kids getting the opportunity to play. That's a good thing. It looks like they've kept the majority of their top kids in, but, you know, younger kids get an opportunity to get in on the D-line and get some pressure on that quarterback is pretty fun for them.
Yeah, the younger kids who aren't already leading this team as Hines makes another catch. Has the 1st down out to the 21-yard line. 1:22 remaining as they'll stop the clock just to move the chains. Didn't see Terrell Carter here in the second half, and you wonder if maybe that's perhaps an injury or something. It was Hines really working in the spot where we normally see Carter getting more of an opportunity here in the second half. As Batari rolls right under pressure again and just has to throw this one away.
They're not big backs. They're not big quarterbacks. San Mateo is not big, you know, with their running backs and their quarterback. They're not big guys. So the amount of hits that they took today is, I'm sure, a lot different than they're used to throughout the year.
the great fan bases in the 3C2A anywhere in the state, the Riverside Tiger fans who are so passionate about this football team. Year after year, getting excited. They know they're in the final minute. Pass incomplete. Starling, the intended receiver, as we're down to 1 minute to go exactly. Again, for those staying with us, we will have visuals as they present the trophy of the 3C2A championship, and also we'll have some interviews down on the field as well. So do stick around. We will have some post-game coverage, and there's a look at the fans getting excited.
One of the biggest joys I'm going to get a chance to see is our new management council rep for the California Community College Football Coach Association. Is a coach by the name of Craig Rigsby out of Butte College. Craig is a legend in his own years. One of the first youngest coaches to hit 100 wins in community college football at Butte College. He's done a tremendous job up there as a coach and as an AD. He's our new management council rep. He'll be handing out those trophies. And I've always said this, Coach Riggs he's big enough to look like he can still compete. So it'll be a joy to see him down there.
Tiger fans know it. The Tiger players know it. That we're in the final minute. And they are going to be the 2019 3C2A champions. Blitz coming on 4th down. Batari with a nice job. Still rolling right, looking. Falls as he throws that one incomplete. Jackson, the intended receiver, well downfield. And
I just have to chuckle.
San Mateo.
Coach Cuck and the defensive coordinator for Riverside, and if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize to him and his family, but what a tremendous job. I mean, you see the pressure he just brought right there. Something different you haven't seen. He's bringing bringing pressure on the outside, and even if you're up by 2-3 scores, he's still bringing pressure, saying, hey, we're still going to keep you here.
They will come.
Absolutely.
They have played 60 minutes here today. They have not stopped playing from the outset. I think it's worth repeating again. It was a great job to continue to fight by San Mateo. We talked a little bit off air while we were taking the break about how for two teams that have had really storybook type seasons here on both sides, for either team today to finish at a loss, which somebody had to do, it's kind of a shame to see that after teams that have had so much success. But boy, you have to be impressed with the Bulldogs players from top to bottom. Never stopped fighting. They were down 24-7. They played on even terms here in the second half. They never stopped battling to try and get back in this game. But the Tigers just wouldn't let them back in.
And you look at it, think about how many times the Riverside Tigers were on the goal line ready to score, and then San Mateo stepped up and stopped them. So tremendous effort by both. Congratulations to Coach Kraft and his staff, and Coach Tulloch and his staff up at San Mateo. I have the utmost respect for both those programs and both those teams. I think they showed well for California Community College football.
The Riverside City College Tigers are the 2019 3C2A football champions. We are going to step aside briefly here. We will take you down to the field. Again, we'll have some visuals of the trophy presentation and the post-game awards. We will also have some interviews down on the field. So do stick around. We'll be right back here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Snap back, going back.
Got it? Big trust. Big trust.
Who is it?
Big trust.
Who is
Big
it?
trust. Yeah.
Next, we have the offensive player of the game being awarded to number 3.
Hey, flex for me one
Yeah,
time.
man. No braces. That's all right. Yeah, no braces. Hey, team squad up. That's it, baby.
Number 14.
My quarterback. My bad. Son, bring me my money.
Where's Coach Crab? Where's Coach Crab? Where's Coach Crab? I got to go to Coach Crab. Where's Coach Crab? Coach Crab! Coach Crab! Who at you? You really don't care about that. First coach to earn it in 2 different schools. Yes, sir. First coach to bring us in 2 different schools. Coach Crab. Let's go.
It's the year of the Tiger in the 3C2A. I'm joined by Ray Estes with a pick 6 earlier today, and Ray, an unbelievable performance defensively by this unit. I mean, coming in, the big numbers offensively, but defensively, that was a story coming in for CSM. And not only did you take them to task, you actually took them to the woodshed. An unbelievable performance. Can you talk about the game plan coming in?
We knew it was going to be a defensive game. They defense versus our defense, and we had win on the defensive side. We had to make turnovers because we know they high-powered defense was going to get a few stops on our offense, even though we was doing great all season scoring. But we had to get a few stops, get them confidence, and get the rolling. So we feel like we came in the game plan, played a little bit of man, a little bit zone, and mixed up the defense just a little. And I feel like we came out second half, changed the game plan, put a few tweaks, and it worked the rest of the game. Yeah,
our color commentator, Tom Gang, was talking about how you guys were changing up looks at the line. What kind of freedom are you allowed given the pressure up front by the defensive line?
I mean, I hats off to them. Hats off to my whole O-line, hats out to my linebackers, because without them, the secondary can't do it. I couldn't get that pick if they didn't get pressure on the quarterback. So hats off to both of them groups, linebackers and defensive line guys, and I feel like if it weren't for them, it wouldn't know me. So all hats to them. I'm not going to take the praise for this. It's all them.
Appreciate that, Ray. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Back to you in the booth.
Come in. Once again, the final score 31-14. Riverside over San Mateo College. They are the 2019 3C2A champions. Want to quickly pass along some thanks for those that helped bring the broadcast to you. First of all, on camera today, Corey Rubin, Craig Wilmore, Jorge Zepeda, Rob Chang, Mike Nahar, doing such a great job for us, bringing you all the shots. Of course, Emery Johnson, our director today, Mike Zepeda, producer, director as well. I want to thank Tom Gang for sitting in on the broadcast and providing his commentary and insight into the broadcast. Of course, everybody here at the 3C2A, Carlisle Carter, George Matagakis, Mike Robles, David Silverstein on stats today, and of course, everybody here at the staff here at Bakersfield College, I should say, for helping us to put this together. Thanks so much to you for joining us, for everybody here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. Riverside City College, the champions here in 2019. Thanks so much for joining us. So long, everybody. Now that we are going to stay here for a second, and we do want to try and get you Jacob Barlage down on the field as well. So hopefully you didn't just switch off right there, just as I said so long. We're going to stay here for a second. Go back down.
Joined by freshman quarterback MVP for the Tigers, Jacob Barlage. And Jacob, incredible performance. Little slow out of the gate, but you guys really adjusted and made some plays in the offensive line. Man, studly performance.
They're amazing. Man, we finally got relaxed and got the ball in the end zone. As soon as we came off, I was like, we're comfortable. Let's get going now.
Highly touted defense for CSM coming in. What was the game plan offensively to try to attack them and really put the pressure on them?
We just had to be ourselves. Coming in, we knew that we were physical. We knew that we could throw the ball over the top, but we were like, we have to play ourselves. We have to play our game. We had a great week of practice with it, and we just came out and performed like we do.
Jacob, congratulations, and we look forward to you playing at the 4-year level.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
So am I taking it out or no? All right, back upstairs, and we are hoping to see if maybe we can grab Tom Kraft and get a few words with him before we sign off. Just heard from Jacob Barlage, and what a fantastic game he had leading this offense for the Tigers. Offensively and defensively, you heard from Barlage, you heard from Ray Estes as well in the postgame, and perhaps that is fitting because the Tigers outstanding in all phases of the game today. Take you down to the field. And the Tigers able to celebrate a well-deserved championship here in 2019 as they finish 13-0. Now that will wrap up our coverage today. Thank you so much again for joining us, for everybody here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. So long, everybody.